Oh, hi. My brother. Welcome. Again, welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, I hope it's a little sunny here today. Ish. Comes and goes. It's still cold though.
I went to the grocery store without a jacket or coat on.
It's that warm?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
almost
warm.
Shorts.
Almost shorts?
70.
It's almost 70?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, clearly I haven't left the house today. I thought it was still cold. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. So this is my fourth live of the week. And if you've seen my other lives this week, they have all been a little frenzied and frantic and like crazy. And I'm hoping that isn't the case today. I don't feel as frenzied. What do you think, Mike?
No, you're good.
But I will tell you, I'm very excited about the products today. So I do get kind of frenzied and giddy about that. So I'm just warning you now, using fun products that I'm very excited about. How do I say this? I hope that when you see me get this excited and giddy, that you truly understand that it's because I just love playing with these products. Hello, welcome. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. I'm glad you're here. I hope you went on your Arthur walk already. Okay, I'm using Concord and 9th today. Each day, I've gone live 4 times this week. 1, because I needed to get catched up. I needed to get caught up and get back in the habit.
Phrase of the day.
2, catched up. 2, what was the other? This is the week of really good releases. It's not my fault, but there's 5 companies this week, 6, that came out with really, really good releases. Waffle Flower was Monday, Pink Fresh was Tuesday. No, Waffle Flower was Monday, Altenew was Tuesday, Pink Fresh was yesterday. Today is Concord and 9th and Kristina Werner. Spellbinders is coming soon, and Hero Arts came out, but it's already sold out. So I'm telling you, I saw this coming, and I remembered to keep this week, available for lives because I knew there were so many things coming out. Now, if you watched my lives on Tuesday and Thursday, I didn't even get to finish doing all the things that I wanted to do. So I am going to go live on Sunday. It would probably be noon or 1. I'm not sure yet, but if you sign up for my texts, which you can do on my website, if you go to the e-newsletter sign up, you can also sign up for text there. I'll text a half hour before, or you can join my Facebook group, and I also post there when I'm going to be going live. So it'll probably be noon or 1 on Sunday. Yes, Gina has a new kit coming out later this month too. So there is more coming. That's good. Oh, and Simon Says Stamp had a release this morning, and I put up a video, or they had it yesterday, but I put up a video this morning. Be sure to check out that video I put up this morning, the pre-recorded. It's not too long, and I show a quick coloring technique that works really well. And I love the technique and the products I use, but it wasn't really good for a live, so I did it in pre-recorded. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, Silly Jilly, I also wear an apron when I'm crafting because, well, let's be clear. If I'm in my pajamas, I don't wear one, like full pajamas, because I don't care. But when I put on a pretend adult shirt for the live, I always put on an apron. Also, it's like a security blanket. I don't know. Okay, so that's why there's been a lot of lives. I agree. It's an expensive week. Expensive for crafters, tiring for me, I guess. But I love it. It's been good to get me out of my funk. I'm coming out of I've been talking about how I've been in a funk, and this has really been helping me. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm using Concord and 9th and Kristina Werner. And it's all new stuff. I think everything I'm using is new, because there was so much good new stuff. But I'm going to be showing some fun folds and mechanisms and other things that could be done with other products too. So even if you're not interested in new stuff, there'll be some fun things to learn along the way. I will tell you, this Concord and Ninth and Kristina Werner release, so good. Just for those who don't know, the video from this morning, Mike, can you put, or Brianne, can you put the link to my video from this morning into the chat?
I put it into the post.
Okay, but yeah, okay. Brianne, my link ninja, is here, and she'll help answer questions. Thank you, Brianne. She's a godsend, and I love her dearly. So Kristina Werner has a product line, her own line of products, and it's sold at Concord and Ninth and Simon Says Stamp and some other stores. But if you order from Kristina Werner's site, it comes from Concord and Ninth. So basically, Kristina Werner's site is inside of Concord and Ninth because they live very close to each other, so it makes it easier. So I have linked in my YouTube description below links to Concord and Ninth for both Concord and Ninth's release and Kristina's, and also to Simon Says Stamp. So you can get both of the company's products at Concord and Ninth or both the company's products at Simon Says Stamp. So I just wanted to let you know that. Hello, welcome. What? Polly, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me know what you mean. I wanted to ask you all first how you want me to approach this video, because I wanted to show you all the products that Concord and Ninth and Kristina Werner have, because a big reason I like these releases is they're unique. There are some really unique non-floral products. One of them, I'd never seen that theme before, and I loved it, and I made a card with it. But it's really unique stuff. So I want to show you both of the lines and some examples they gave me to share, and then I'll create a few cards. And my question is for you. Would you like me to first show the products and examples and then create? Or do you want me to create and then show some stuff and create and show some stuff? I think it'd be better to show you the products and examples right away, just so you see a lot of inspiration right away. And then also, if I have time at the end, you can help me decide what of the other products I use that I haven't already prepared. I have, I don't know, 3 or 4 cards prepared, like really prepared so they don't take long. So Mike is going to put up a poll. Can you put that poll up, Mike? Okay, Mike's put it up. You can vote at the top of the chat. Karen asked, are there any ink pads that should be stored upside down? Every company that I work with says you don't need to store them upside down. Rumor has it, Stampin' Up! Said to store theirs upside down. I have no other companies that I've worked with suggest that. It really doesn't matter. I talked to the ink manufacturer who makes a lot of these companies' inks, and they said there's no need. So I store none of mine upside down. Okay, so there's a little poll there. You can vote if you want to see the products and examples at the beginning or as we go. And you can do that little poll. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So we have Concord and Ninth and Kristina Werner. It looks like most people want to see this stuff first, along with some examples. I'll start with Concord and Ninth. I'll start by showing Concord and Ninth and some examples first, and then I'll do Kristina, and then I'll start with an example or making a card with Kristina's after that. Okay? I will be showing, here at the beginning, I will be showing images of cards. These were provided to me by Concord and Ninth and Kristina. I didn't make these cards. Their team, they did it, and they gave me permission, so a big thank you. And the cool part about that is if you see a card example that we show here at the beginning, that means you can go to the Concord and Ninth website and find those examples under the products. So you can see more of those cards. So let's start out with some Concord and Ninth things. I'm going to start out with the things that I don't have plans for yet, and then I'll show you the things that I do have plans for. All right, Mike, are you going to be ready? The first one I wanted to show you, because this is really unique again, love and games. So in this set, oh, I don't have the packaging here, but in the set, there's a crossword puzzle where you can circle some of the words, or you can like highlight or let them do it. And there are different words in there. There's also a crossword little grid here, and then you can stamp the letters in it. So friend, sweet, funny, nice, loved. These are kind of like friendship or love themes. So they could be used for a variety of things. There are a couple that say Happy Valentine's Day or have Valentine in it, but not all of them do. Because I don't normally make Valentine's cards, and I haven't done that. So I always win when I'm with you. You are tic-tac totally fantastic. There is Let's Connect for Valentine's Day, because what's in here, I'll show you. There's dies too. And this makes a Connect 4 board. You know, the Connect 4 where you drop the stuff in, and instead of circles, it's hearts. So you can use the dies to make a Connect 4 board and then do Let's Connect for Valentine's Day, or you could just do Let's Connect if you don't want it to be Valentine's Day, or you could do Let's Connect for and stamp your birthday from another set. You won my heart. I'm game for anything Valentine. Cross my heart if you do the crossword puzzle. So lots of different games. Here's the tic-tac-toe board, and you can do X's and hearts instead of X's and O's. Here's the die to cut out the crossword puzzle. There's a heart. So a few different game references in here. Okay, so Mike, do you have any of the love games examples from Concord and 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, so here are some examples. On the bottom there, you can see the Connect 4 game, right? In the kind of bottom left, you can see the word search. So you can see some of the words highlighted there. Like some of the words in there, I think Valentine's, you can find Happy Valentine's Day. But if you wanted to, you could do happy, highlight happy, and then put a birthday die cut underneath it. So it could be happy birthday instead. You can see the crossword up on the top right, and you can see the tic-tac-toe there in the middle. Isn't that fun? Something very different. And honestly, like that tic-tac-toe board, that's not like a very involved card to make. And even the Connect 4, the die in the set cuts 8 of the little hearts at a time, so it doesn't take long to do. All right, are there any more from that, Mike?
Okay.
Okay, Mike's going to show some more. So there is the crossword puzzle. I like how they repeated the crossword across the card, but only stamped the greetings in that, that center one, and then added hearts here and there. So it's, again, the words here are friend, funny, nice, sweet, and loved. So that could be used for a lot of things. There's the Connect 4. And I think you could even just do Let's Connect and mask off the other words and use it all the time, right? Next up, Mike. There's the tic-tac-toe board. And then, is there another one?
Yeah, there are a bunch of.
Oh, look at that. Look at the heart there. Oh, there's other words in there. So heart is in there, true, hugs, and you can just stamp the, like the highlight on it. That's just, those are stamps. Isn't that fun? Oh, look at this one. This one, they tied a pencil to it so they could find, so it's like a word search you'd give somebody.
Oh, no,
oh, that's not it. That's not it.
The other, yeah, there's the.
So there's a bunch of other examples. Now, all of these, oh, Pam, that's perfect. All of these here are, all these examples and images I showed you are on the Concord and 9th site under the Love Games set. All right, so that's the first one. Next up, I think some of these might be labeled wrong, but that's okay. Let's see. Hold, please. Okay, this is Radiant Heart. So this is the Radiant Heart background die. If you saw a couple months ago, they came out with these dies that do like an impression, but also do teeny tiny holes if you want to stitch along them. So there are holes at the beginning and the end of these rays, and you can stitch along them with really thin thread that they sell on the Concord and Ninth website. This set also has hearts and love you and some smaller hearts too. And it works really well with the Radiant Heart stamp set. So you can see how that sentiment fits nicely in the center. Or I love you so. I really, really like Thanks for Being My Friend. Look at the style of that. And you could add that on other projects too, but it fits nicely in the center of that heart. And if you add the string to this, you tug at my heartstrings. Isn't that cute? So the Radiant Heart, you don't even have to stitch it. You could just do this and it creates these kind of slits, and it's a nice focal point behind other things. So this is the Radiant Heart. There is another die set called Stitched of Love. And I haven't looked at this one much yet because there's so much in it that I think I'll have to do it again sometime, like do another video with this. So there is Love and Hugs, the outline, but then there are these little dot letters. So it creates little, oh, see the little piercing dots? So what you can do is cut the outline, then, and also cut the little dots, and then you can stitch inside of it. So you can stitch with the letters or without the letters. It's up to you, but all the letters are in here. There is a heart, solid heart. Then this one, and this one, and this one, all of these do little, let me put it on a bigger piece of cardstock so you can hold them all up. These all do the little dots if you want to stitch, or you can skip the stitching and it would just give little piercing pattern. Okay, so see how those all are different options. Now there is also the solid heart that goes around each of these different sizes. So Concord and Ninth really does a good job making sure that a product can be used in many different ways. So you can do them directly on the front of a card or cut them out. If you like stitching on paper, these are fantastic. And the examples on their website are fun. There's also you, so you can, a cursive U, so you can put that with love. So that kind of, those also work with that background Radiant Hearts. This is called Stitch with Love. Mike, do you have any Radiant Heart or Stitch with Love examples?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're stitching as you watch. I stitch while we play games like Catan. There we go. So there is the Radiant Heart, and you can see there's a thin gold stitch going out from it. You don't have to do the stitch. You could just leave the impression if you want. Next up, I'm trying to go through these pretty quickly just to save time. There you can see how the Thanks for Being My Friend from the Radiant Heart stamp set fits nicely at the center of a heart. No stitching on that one. Okay, we saw that one. All right, there are some of the smaller hearts I showed you from the Stitch of Love, and also just the letters love and you on top of it. There they repeated the hugs and love and did the simple stitching inside of the letters, so that the stitched letters are the focal point of that card. Any more? Okay, those are just more examples. So you can see the stitching on the hearts there under the love you. All right, thank you, Mike. All right, next up, okay, this is another one. I really wish I had time to do this in a live, but I'm not thinking it will happen. We'll see, okay? This is, I might as well put it on a magnetic board. This will be the Sweet Cart stamp set and die set. And I actually think the best thing that we can do is have Mike show the examples first, because you're not going to be able to tell what it is just from this. So Mike, can you show some of the Sweet Cart examples? And wait till you see, look at that. It is a cart, and you can put flowers on it, so you can make it like a flower cart, or you can put little candies on it and cakes and cupcakes and things. There's lots of options inside of this die set, which I'll show you. So it's a pretty generous die set, and then a small stamp set that coordinates with it. All right, look how cute that is. There's a wheel. You can see some of the stamped images that are on it, and I love the little banner on it. Here they skipped the whole cart and just used the little, look at the little gumball machine. Isn't that cute? There's cotton candy and lollipops. My goodness. Isn't that adorable? So you don't have to do the cart. You could just use the little die cuts in it. There you can see another look at the cart on that. There are a bunch of examples on their website. Any more?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, you can come back here then. Let me show you all the dies that are in this. See, this is one of those that I would get lost in forever. That's why I decided to wait on it to use it. So first of all, here's the cart right here and the wheel to put on the cart. There's the dies that you can put to make like the awning really nice. Now look at, there's cute little bows here. Wait, there we go. See the little bows? There's flowers. There's a glass dome or whatever to put on top of the cake stand. There's the little kind of pinwheels, little scalp decorations to make cotton candy, to make cupcakes, to make a little sign that you can stamp in. I'll show you the sign or the stamp set in a moment. Lots of little elements, lollipops and their sticks, little jars. So you could just do flowers if you wanted to. The cart could be used with other things too. Dies are my love language, Nan Fisk, me too. And I'll be doing a lot of die cutting today. And what's really cool is this set also comes with this die that creates like a really detailed die cut that fits really nice on an A2 panel. Mike, can you show the cart example again? Because this die can be used with other things too, not just this. So see that background there? That large die cut? It has lots of detail in it because it's got the faux stitching too. That could be used with other things on it. In fact, I probably should have used it today with other things. I should have thought about that. Maybe I'll find a way to use it. All right, thank you, Mike. So that is the sweet cart. And then here's the stamp set that goes with it. These can all be stamped on the sign that can go on the top of the cart. It has happiest birthdays, you are the sweetest, and oh, hello, friend. Then there's have a sweet day, treat yourself, thanks so much, celebrate real nice. A little decorative stamp. And then there's a 5-cent and 2-cent stamp that you can put on this little sign. So it's like they're selling it. Yeah. It's just, this is what I like about Concord and Ninth. And I've talked about this in other lives. I feel like a lot of companies have a certain thing that they do to really zhuzh up their line that is really special to them. For Concord and Ninth, their dies are brilliantly designed so that every little detail is there and you can skip some of the details if you want to. And there are lots of options. So you could make one that's a flower market cart, or you could make one that's a cake. You can change things up. All right. And so they also always add dies that could be used separately, like the heart dies or some basic dies. There's the little cake. These magnetic panels, I put these on my crafty gift guide video this year. These are from Lawn Fawn. This is the bigger size. They have a smaller size that is from Lawn Fawn too. Where does the decorative stamp go? Right here on the cart, if you want to put it right there on the cart. Okay, so that's the sweet cart. Great name. Instead of sweetheart, it's sweet cart. Okay, let me see. Okay, next from Concord and Ninth. I'm going to use this one later. In fact, I might do 2 from this because I think this is a fantastic set. It doesn't look all that much yet, but just stick with me. This is the Oceans and Potions die set and stamp set. And with this, you can make different bottles, different theme bottles, or a like message in a bottle kind of thing with a ship, or you can skip the bottle and just do the other images. Now, again, I think it's best to look at some of the examples so you can see how these come together. So Mike, do you have Oceans and Potions examples? Tina, ask that question again in a moment. I'll tell you. Okay, so this is one you can do with the stamp set and die set. This works if you make Valentine cards or love cards. There's the love potion. You can put a little tag on top of the bottle. Next up, this is what I like. Look at that. It's like a message in the bottle. There's a ship in a bottle. You could skip the bottle and just do the ship on the water. And you can stamp the greetings. The best ship is friendship, or you could stamp a greeting that says lost without you or love ya boatloads. Those are all in that stamp set. All right, next up. There is like a message in the bottle with a message in there that says lost without you. And there are dies to cut all those out. Are those the only ones?
Yeah. Those 4.
Really? Okay. You can come back here. There's also what I'm going to use today. I'm thinking of using, if I don't run out of time, 2 of them. Doing the ship along with Love You Boatloads. But then also there's this right here that says sunshine for a cloudy day. And you put it on the bottle, and I'm going to fill it with like bright yellow gemstones, like kind of like you're sending somebody sunshine. Then you can stamp the word in it and add other things. So this one really caught my eye because of the versatility. You have the sunshine in a bottle, you have the ship, the message in the bottle, the love potion, lots of different options. And that, for me, if you're going to invest in sets like this, you want to have those options. And then keep in mind, this bottle could also be used like as a vase. You could also do like little die cut candies from the last set and put them in this jar. Many different ways to use it. I love the ship too. I have one already assembled. Here, I'll show it to you right now. Here's the little ship. It's just the cutest little ship. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And I think he'd be fun to do as like a pendulum, so he rocks. Wouldn't that be cool? That's not great on dark cardstock. Here it is on white. Well, that's not great on white either. Let's put it on red. There we go. So now you can see them better. Look at the details in that. Isn't that fun? So yeah, you could do genie in a bottle. You're right, Pam. Lots of things you can do with this. So that's why I was really excited about these Concord and 9th. Oh, then they also have the Wavy card front background die, which does these waves. And I think that works really well with the ship and the Lost Without You stuff. All right, but do keep in mind, in this die set, it has these wave dies, so you can also create your own waves with the die set. A slider would be great too. That would be really fun. You could do a slider on the cart, the sweet cart. So please know, there are lots of examples for these on their website, which is linked below, and I plan to use this Oceans and Potions if I don't run out of time. Oh, and then my favorite. I almost forgot. My favorite, because I set it aside because I'm going to use it. This is the Fueled with Love dies. It makes gas pumps, which sounds weird, but I've never done anything like this. Look at the cute little gas pumps it creates. So you can put messages on here like, I'm pumped to be your friend. Mike loves puns. Love ya, you and me. You can put smiley faces on it. All of those dies are included. And then the little stamp set that goes with it, which I can't find. There's a cute little stamp set. Oh, here it is. It has different greetings that work with it. Look at this. Your friendship fuels me. Happy Valentine's Day. You fill my life with smiles. And you can stamp the smile on the top of the pump. Hope your day is full of love. Oh, I liked this one. I stamped it. Hold on, let me move my dirty stamp. You fill my life with happiness, and you're my premium Valentine. So there are a few different options there for greetings on this. I put some little pumps together, and I'm going to show you a really fun pop-up for these and a way to hold a gift card, because I thought it'd be fun to put a gas gift card with this, because who couldn't use one of those right now? Aren't they fun? So yeah, you could make these masculine if that's, but look at that. I glued these together beforehand just to save some time, but look at this. Look at these little stars. Hold on, I want to focus. Can you see? Look at those tiny little star stamps. And these tiny little heart die cuts. And what he did, or they did over at Concord and 9th, this die has tiny little hearts in the center that you can use those, and that's why I put on my gas pump. And then the stamp set also has tiny little hearts and tiny little stars. So those you could use for other things too. Aren't those creative? This blew me away, and I was so excited. This was the first thing I wanted to use from Concord and 9th. All right, so that's Concord and 9th. I think I got everything from them. Now, Kristina Werner. Okay, I'm going to save my favorite of Kristina's for last because it's so good and it's the first thing I'm going to use. So it makes sense to save it for the last bit. First of all, we have Plaid Perfection. I'm hoping I'm not missing any. Plaid Perfection. You know, I love Kristina Werner stencils because they're giant. So you can actually get 2 card panels by inking it, 2 A2 card panels, or you could do 5x7 or bigger. And these stencils allow you to create different forms of plaids. And there's lots of different options that you can use together to create different patterns. All right, so this is the Plaid Perfection. Mike, do you have Plaid Perfection images from Kristina? Do you?
I don't have anything labeled that. Probably grouped with something else.
Okay. When we reach the Plaid Perfection stuff, I will let you know. But I want to make sure. First, let me just make sure I've got all the. Oh, there is a Happy Mail. I'll do that in a moment. Let's just stick with Kristina for now. I'll go back to that. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so the Plaid Perfection. The Plaid Perfection, there are some examples, but you'll see them along the way with some of the other products. Then we have You Are the Best. If you've seen in a past release, Kristina did, these are her lettering. She's done an alphabet set like this, but now we have some greetings. So there are lots of different sentiments here. I love this You Are the Best because it fits right down the center of a card and it's big enough that you could do like a fun background and just stick that on top. And then there are coordinating dies for all of the sentiments here. So Mike, do you have any that say You Are the Best? I don't know.
Yeah, let me see. This is from the You Are the Best set.
There you go. So that's the You Are the Best set. You can see some different sentiments there that are fantastic. Hold on. I'm trying to find the die set for one of these. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So that, and there you go. So there are some more where she used the coordinating dies to cut them out. Great basic dies that I think could work with a variety of different styles of cards. The Hello Friend is my favorite. Is that
yeah.
It for the, okay. Then there is the Jumble of Hearts. Now there's a Jumble of Heart background stamp, and these are great hearts. I love all the mix of hearts. Then there are stencils, and they're actually, you can see, sized the same, so you can use them together or separately. So you've got the background stamp, then you have the stencils, and as I say with as I say with Kristina's stuff, she has these big stencils, so you can do 2 backgrounds at once or a bigger card. So there are layering stencils in here. There's a big one here that allow you to create this. So you can see how it's, all of these hearts are different colors. Then there it leaves like a white outline and then a colored background. All right, so the layering stencils do that, and also included in it is the outline stencil. So you can just use that to do a solid background, which I'll be using. I love her stencils. I've shown many techniques for this type of stencil from Kristina, where she has the layering and then just the outline. And what's cool is you can do a background with the layering and then use like this outline on the flap of the envelope. So I'll be using this today. This is a fantastic set. And Kristina doing her stencils like this, it's just brilliant. I think it's so smart. It gives you a lot of versatility. Another thing you can do is stamp this, maybe like silver heat emboss this, and then use the stencils to color it in. So you could use the stencils to color in the hearts and the background, and you'd end up with all different colors in a silver outline. Isn't that cool? So lots of ways you can use these together or separate. Then we have this, you'll see me use these a lot. This is the Love and Adore You stamps and dies. They're sold together or separately. So in the stamp set, you have Love You and Adore You. And this, I like how she laid these out together, so it just fits nicely at the center of a card. It just fits really nicely. The stamp set. Oh, this was the Jumble of Hearts. The stamp set and the stencils have the same name. This is Love and Adore You. Then you have all of these sentiments that go with it, like more than words can say, for who you are, now and forever, for being you, endlessly, beyond measure, friend. So these could be used for like a partner or a friend. And there are Happy Valentine's Day and Happy Galentine's Day in there. But if you're like me and don't do many Valentines, there's plenty that isn't. Then there is the coordinating die set, which you could use together or separately. So in here, the shadow dies can be used to cut out the stamped greetings. Or the shadow dies can be used along with the intricate word dies. So you can do them either way. So these word dies are the same size as on the stamp set. So they work really well together or literally separately. This could be used separately. Then there are 3 sizes of hearts, some banner dies, and those are designed to fit around the smaller sentiments. She has beautiful handwriting. Yes, this is Kristina's handwriting. I feel weird when I send her cards because I don't write like this. Yeah, these are definitely, what I really appreciated about what Concord and Ninth and Kristina did with these releases is there are some Valentine's things in these sets, but they're not fully Valentine's. So if you're like me and don't do a lot of Valentine's, you still can use these. But if you do like to do Valentine's, that's an option. And I agree. Options is what today is about. Now, I'll be using these, okay? That was the Love and Adore You. Now, next up is the last sets from Kristina and the ones I'm going to start with because I'm crazy about these. And I bet a lot of you, if you've seen the release, you know. It is the So Fry-tastic stamp set and die set. The dies make French fries. French fries. Who doesn't like French fries? God was in a good mood when he decided to fry potatoes. Because look at this. So we have all of the products I'm talking about are from Kristina Werner and Concord and Ninth, and they're linked in the YouTube description below. Okay, here we go. Look at the little fries that you can make. And then there are different greetings that can go on it. So let me show you. I'm going to make with this, so you'll see how easy they are, well designed. You'll see why. I love French fries. Kathy Zilski says, I heard fries. I know Kathy likes fries. And Greg and Laura Bass, and we've talked about this many a times. So as far as greetings, you can do, I only have fries for you. Mike loves this. And there are, there's the big word fries in the shadow, the big word fry in the shadow. So you can get like this look, or you can stamp them. So you have the different options, and the stamps and the dies are the same, so you can mix them up. You can do, I love you more than French fries, and that's saying a lot. I'll be using that today. You are a phenomenal friend. Mike's fate, Mike's chat. You could do either the small, you are my phenomenal friend, or do you're a fry and do the big one, nominal friend, or you're Fry-tastic. Hi, Shari. Sherry, you are a phenomenal friend. You are my ride or fry. I need to do that for Brianne because we call each other a ride or die. You can do, you are my ride or fry. Okay, now I'm going to start with these because I think these are fantastic. All right, she even numbered this stuff to make it easy to put together, and I've already prepped, so this won't take much time at all to put together. And I have a really fun fold that you could do with other things too, okay? What do French fries do when they meet up after a long time? They catch up. Somebody put that in the chat. It went too fast for me to catch it, but somebody put that in the chat. Okay, so I have started my fry. You know, my first job, well, not my first job, but one of my favorite jobs was McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's and I loved it. I worked in the cash, like in the drive-through, collecting money. Loved that job. So this is right up my alley. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. Okay, so this is the Kristina Werner it's the Kristina Werner So Fry-tastic. Nominal. I'm not sure about that. I can't see that. Okay, so what I did is some die cutting off screen. So let's put together, it was a Fry-tastic job, you're right. Let's put together our French fries first. So here I have cut the little fry holders from Concord and 9th Poppy cardstock. And I white heat embossed more than French fries on this. So I'm going to put I love you more, or love you more than French fries. So I white heat embossed it. I had used anti-static powder tool, which you could still see. So I'm just using an eraser to remove that bit of anti-static powder tool. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, I loved working there. There were a bunch of us who did. It was fun. Hi, Cammie. Okay. Cammie, I love you more than French fries. Okay. So this will be, which is saying a lot. I'm not even sure. It's questionable how many people in this world I love more than French fries. There aren't many. All right, there are these little fold lines on the side that create dimension. You could actually fold them back if you want dimension. But instead, along those score lines, I'm going to just do a little shading. I want to keep it flat, but you could fold there and make it more dimensional. I don't want to do that. I don't know why. Let's do here. Okay, so I got cranberry ink, which is darker than the poppy, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the outside of that little score line. Let's see if that's enough. I don't want much. Just to do like a little, see how it makes it look dimensional there? I'll show you in a moment. Again, you could fold along this if you want to. There are a lot of great examples over on the Concord and 9th website under the Kristina Werner collections. So see how it just gives a little dimension to it by doing that little bit of darker color on the edge. I think I'm going to do a little more. This is where Jennifer overdoes things. Cammie knows this. Okay, so let's put that. That's good. It'll soften a little bit because it is a dye ink. All right, let me clean off my mat so I don't get red ink on something else. Fries are a cure for any bad day. Fries would be good tonight. Maybe that's what we'll do. Okay, so this will be the front of my fries. Now let's create the fries to go in it. Yes, you could make golden arches. That's true. Okay, so the dies here, there's all these fry dies. These that have the flat bottom are meant to go inside of the fry container. So watch this. If you flip these dies over, on the back there are numbers. Like this one has a little 2 etched on the back. Can you see the little 2 right there? Each of them have a little number on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I cut them all out and I used a pencil on the back to put the number. So I knew what order to put these in. But again, the dies all have a number on the back, which make putting this together super easy. So now let's find the number 1. This is number 1. And I put just some adhesive along the bottom and I put number 2 on top. And every time I'm lining up that bottom flat edge. So I did 2 along the bottom. And now let's find 3. Oh, 3's right in front of me. And then 4. And they all fit together. There are 2 loose fries that you can have if you want to make some that kind of pull out or like sit at the bottom like they fell out. And then number 5. So look at all of my fries arranged perfectly. And I did these from 2 shades of light yellow cardstock. I used my bracelet. I used some scraps. Let me see if I can find what they were. Oh, the lighter yellow is older. It is Paper Tray Lemon Tart. And so that's Lemon Tart from Paper Tray. And this is Gina K Sweet Corn, which is one of my favorite yellows. You could also, if you want to have brighter fries, you could use Buttercup from Concord and Ninth, and then add Buttercup ink on some of them to make them a bit darker. So look at our fries all arranged. Now, I just put glue on that on top of that line there, and glue our container. And look at that. Come along now. There's our fry container. I'm going to add Love You on this when I'm done. Now, I'm going to glue another on the back side, and you'll see why in a moment. So I have another one of the containers. Now I'm going to glue it on the back side. I'll put some magnets on it to hold it. You'll see why I'm putting this on the back in a moment, but for now, you could skip this if you plan to just glue it right onto a card. So let me get some magnets. Put one over here. Ah, thank you, Cami. See, Cami is a useful engine. My friend Cami is here. She's my local friend who doesn't craft, but she's starting to show interest. So I'm excited. Erica's here. I just texted Erica and said, I want to visit you. Okay, now I did this off screen. Again, I prepped a lot today so I wouldn't be as frenzied and I could cover more. This is, I showed you earlier, this is the Love and Adore You stamps and dies. Okay, I use the die to die cut Love You. I die cut it 3 times from white cardstock and glued it together for a stacked look. I just love that look, but you could just do one layer if you want. Okay, and that's going to go right on top of my little fry situation, and that more than French fries will be nestled in under it. Now, y'all, somebody out there, when I finish this card, remind me to show you Kristina's examples with this, because I didn't show you yet. I forgot. I got carried away. Go figure. Also, there's one more thing from Concord and Ninth I forgot to show. So remind me to do that when I finish this card. So this is Gina K Connect Matte Liquid Adhesive, which is her new version of liquid adhesive. And I love it because if it oozes out the side, it will not leave like a shine, and it'll be clear. So there we go. Love You more than French fries. Okay, there we go. If you like fry themed stuff, a couple of years ago, I would say, Waffle Flower came out with French fry themed stuff, and birds. And so there was the greeting, happier than a bird with a French fry. Because if you've ever been at a beach and had French fries, you know birds come in. Isn't this cute? Okay, so here we go. Look at that. So cute. Didn't take long to do, right? Yes, you could put a gift card behind this. So what you can do is have like a gift card to like a burger joint, because I have a gift card here because I was wondering that too. And you could just put a thin piece of foam tape here, and foam tape here, and it could be a little pocket and they can pull it out. Okay, I decided not to make this a gift card, but I'll make another one later. But yeah, you definitely could put one behind it. Let me think. I did a live a few weeks ago using Simon Says Stamp products. If you were there, I did a gift card that was a bucket of popcorn and you could pull a gift card out. You could go watch that live and do the exact same thing with the fries. All right, so there's Love You more than French fries. Oh my gosh, it just kills me. Okay, then, and remember, you could do instead like your Fry-tastic or some of the other greetings. All right. I'm thinking at the end I might put just little dots of liquid adhesive on my fries and put on rock candy to look like salt. I'm like, ah, Kristina's here. What'd she say? Kristina said something. What'd you say, Kristina? Now I just want to go eat fries with you. Okay, Kristina, you knew. She showed me these when she was working on them, and she knew I'd go crazy. Brian just put in the chat a link to my popcorn live video. Kristina, you blew it out of the water again. All right, so let me show you a few things. I'm going to do a fun fold where the French fry thing, thank you, Cami. Bye, love you. The French fry is kind of floating out in front when it's on display. It's a little different than the floating stuff I've done in the past, but I want to get all the elements done and then we'll do that technique. So I did do off screen some inking because I wanted to save time. Told you how much I loved the Jumble of Hearts stencil pack. In here are layering stencils that allow you to create an inked colorful background. I just used this one, which is the outline only stencil, also included in that stencil set. I did, can you close those doors, Mike? I did powder cardstock from Concord and 9th, and I inked it lightly and unevenly with powder ink. So I just laid the stencil down and inked it up. This powder cardstock piece is 8.5 by 5.5, which is enough for 2 cards. Okay, so I just inked that lightly and unevenly with powder ink, so it's like a tone on tone. So I can cut this in half at 4 1/4, and we have 2 A2 panels. And I thought this would be fun background for this card. So I have an extra one I will probably use later, but for now, I think I'll use this one. All right, now, let's see. Let me show you this next. Okay, my card base. This is going to be a kind of tri-fold card. We'll add the background to it in a moment, but it's like a tri-fold card. You'll see what I'm going to do with it. But first, let me show you how I created this card base. I have a piece of cardstock that is, I'm looking, sorry. I need a better ruler. Oh, come on. Where's my ruler? Here it is. Okay, this is, oh, it's a little wonky. It's about 10.5 wide by 5.5 tall. So this is about 10.5 by 5.5. When we do the score lines I'm showing you, it'll end up 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Hold on. Can you, there's somebody who said front page in the comment. There we go. Would you consider putting a picture of the final cards on the lives, like front page, so it's easier to find? You know, Marcel, I want to, and I plan to. This is something I was crying to Mike about last night, that I'm not getting the time to go back and do that. If you look at my previous lives, you know I'm trying to do that, and I will get there. Okay, it just might take me a bit of time. I'm just
figure out the process.
Trying to figure out the process. Just a little overwhelmed, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to do photos and a blog post for every live afterwards and change the thumbnail. And if you look at all of my old lives, a lot of them have been done. I haven't done them this week because once I'm done with the live, like at 5 or 6 o'clock, I crash. What can I say? Okay, so this is 5.5 by 10.5. I used my scoreboard and a bone folder. And I first scored at 2 1/8 of an inch. So it's just one groove line over from 2. And I scored there. Okay. Then I rotated it and I score at 4 inches. So I score there at 4. And this will give me a card that folds into 5.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And this little flap right here is halfway. It's 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so but this flap's bigger. You'll see why in a moment. Okay, is somebody trying to get in over there outside, Mike? Oh, okay. Okay, so what I want to do is take this and cut it into a panel to go here and a panel to go here. So you see it when it's closed. It is a ton of work. Listen, I'm still trying to figure out my process for a lot of reasons, which I'll explain in the future, but I'm working on it. Okay, so this I want to trim down so there's a white trim around it. So I will cut this down. I'm going to cut this down to, so it's 5 1/4 inches tall. And you could measure, or I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna hold this here. See how there's a nice even trim here? And then I'll put a little pencil mark where I'll end up with a nice even trim on, let me do it so you can see. So that it's a nice cut for that flap. So there's a little pencil mark where I need to cut it. I could measure it, but I'm just gonna pencil mark it. All right, so it's about, if you're trying to do it, it is 1 7/8 of an inch. Okay. What is she doing?
I'm not sure what.
My dog's wanting to play. So see how it fits there nicely with a little white trim? You know what? I may not like that. Hold on. I'm thinking. Give me a moment. I don't think I want the white trim there. I don't think I want the white trim there. Okay, forget what I just told you about the blue. I'm going to use this other background here. I'm going to trim this to be 5 1/4 by 4. By 4. Let's cut off this side. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just 1/4 inch smaller, okay? Now I'm going to cut that in half. So it's 4 inches wide, so I'll cut it at 2. Yeah, I like this better. So now I have a flap that'll go right up against the right-hand edge, but have nice white trim on the left and right. So let me glue that down so you can see. I refilled my bottle with my Gina K Connect, so I can use that today. Got my wiggle room time, so I can move it where I want it. So see how there's a white trim on the left, right, or no, I'm sorry, the top, bottom, and left, but then right against the edge here. Now we've got the other half. I'll put glue on that. I'm going to hold this down and meet these up right in the middle. So there's white trim over here too. So this flap, there's empty right here. I'm doing that on purpose. You'll see why. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Okay, so now I want to add this, but only to this flap. So I could just glue it to this flap here. So when you open it, you've got that, and you can write your personal message on the inside. But I want this to kind of float here. So let me show you how I do that. I have a piece of cardstock here. I probably should not do red. I should probably do blue. Let me see what size this is. Hold on. 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. Okay. I'm going to take a scrap of my powder blue cardstock and cut it to 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. You could do bigger or smaller. It really doesn't matter. But for this size, I think 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 is good. I will then score that down the middle, or just fold it without scoring at 3/4 of an inch. So see how I just have a folded piece. It's 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, and I scored it right down the middle. Now this, I'm going to glue right on this flap. I'm going to open this up, okay? I'm going to glue it on this front flap. So I'll put some glue here and glue it so it sticks out from this flap. And I'll show you why in a moment. Make sure that that's put it right down a little bit. There we go. So here's my card. Let me close it up. It's sticking out from this flap. The fold of this little piece is right along this cut edge. So it's just this funky looking flap there. I'm hoping you can see that okay. I used the scrap here so it blends in better. See how it's a folded piece there? Now on this, I'll put some strong glue and lay my fries onto it. Centered up I'm going to hold that there for a moment. Okay. Aw, Cheryl, thank you. It's good to see your smile. Okay, so watch. So see how it'll kind of turn a bit when you put it on display. So when you stand it up, it's going to look like that. Instead of being flat, it kind of turns. So when you open up the card, you still see it. Isn't that fun? And that was just because I did that folded piece of cardstock there. So really you can do that with any element that you want on the front of a card. Okay, so there's that folded piece, and that's how that's attached. I will answer some questions in a moment. I answered that one from Pam, Mike.
Okay.
Do you already have the colors? Oh, Tina asked, I'm just going to answer this now while this dries. Tina asked, when you die cut, for example, the sweet cart that has a lot of pieces, do you already have colors in mind, or do you die cut various colors and then decide? I'll tell you what I do. I cheat. I go to the Concord and Ninth website. I look at one of their examples, and you can either use the same colors, so you're kind of following around. You see like the cupcake icing is pink on there, so I'll use pink. Or I come up with a color combination and I follow the example. Either way works. Somebody also asked, is it true Avery Elle is no longer producing the plastic sleeves that I use my stamps and dies in? Yes, Avery Elle closed, unfortunately, and this is a result of knockoff products and tariffs and various things, but Simon Says Stamp sells them. So you can get the same size pockets at Simon Says Stamp, and that's what I use now. Okay, so see how it kind of turns? It lays flat, but then it kind of turns when you open it, and see how it kind of floats there? And it looks really cool on display. But I'm not done, because I overdo things. All right, so let's do some stamping on the inside. I don't know where let me get a magnet to keep that closed. I have no idea where my magnets all went. Oh, they're all stuck together. That's gonna be fun to pull apart. Okay, flatten this down. I want to stamp on this little flap, so when you open it, you see it. And that's where I will use and that's saying a lot, because it's the truth. If I tell you I love you more than French fries, there are very few people I could send this card to. Oh, I need my readers. Oh. Excuse me, old lady here. I just want to make sure I don't stamp it upside down. It's tiny. So you could put it directly look at me, on the bottom of your French fries, but I thought it'd be fun to have the greeting that says, that's saying a lot, on the inside. So I'll stamp that with black ink. Ooh, look I can see everything better. You could also stamp some of the other greetings if you want. There we go, and that's saying a lot. If you wanted to be certain you got that straight and in the right place, you could have first put a piece of acetate over it and stamped on that, and that would show you, but I just was bold. So see, it says, and that's saying a lot. Now, underneath that, I'm gonna put a heart. I just die cut a heart from a Concord and Ninth set. I think I like the small heart. I'm gonna put that small heart right there underneath it. Above it would be cute too. Okay, so let me show you. So this is what it looks like. Got the continuous background. Love you more than French fries. Open it up and it says, that's saying a lot. And then you can write your personal message in there. I also like this. Yeah, Memory Box has great storage pockets too. I also like this because when you put it on display, this is kind of what you see on display. This kind of sticks out, and the personal message is hidden, which I'm always really liking. So I just think this little flip here is a fun variation, and you can do that with any large element there, okay? Isn't that fun? Okay, now, this next step may not work. Let's see. What do you think, Mike? It's gonna work? Okay. Oh, I'm out of, oh no, I have my hot dog containers. Years ago, I bought a package of hot dog, whatever these are called. It's great for using glitter over. You can also use coffee filters. But I'm wondering if I can put the sparkly Tim Holtz rock candy on the fries. I'm gonna try it so that you don't have to try it and mess up your card if it doesn't work. Mike, can you add rock candy and also add it to the YouTube list. So I'm just kind of touching the little bits of my Gina K Connect matte glue over my fries. Not a ton, because I don't want these to be like full-on glitter fries. Like, we have to watch, what is bad with too much salt, Mike? I don't know. We have to watch our health. See how, can you see? I just kind of scattered some glue. That might be too much, but I'm gonna try. All right, I can always knock some off. I'm gonna sprinkle on my rock candy, and then I'm gonna flick this like crazy to knock off the excess. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, now see how the hot dog container, put that back into the jar. And I don't have, oh, I just put my thumb on it. There's no glitter on my desk. Isn't that great? Super salty, salty fries. I know I like salty fries, but not too salty. Okay, now we're gonna have to come back, remind me to come back and show you, because it'll become more solid, or sorry, it'll become less bold looking because rock candy is clear. My Connect liquid adhesive is white when it goes down. See, it's white when it goes down, but it dries clear. So right now you see the white glue showing through the rock candy. It will become more subtle when it dries. You could also I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna kind of tap it. I don't want a lot of this on there. I just want a little bit. So I'm kind of tapping it out. And then I'm gonna let that dry and show you in a moment, okay? And then you could add more or less if you want to. Now, I did promise you that I would show you a couple more things, okay? This, oh, by the way, you wanna put that with a red envelope. That would be really boring with a white envelope. I'm a big fan of colored envelopes. Let me get one. Okay, so here is a red envelope. This one's from Simon Says Stamp. And look at how nice that, I mean, it's boring, but if you did a white envelope, it'd be boring. The red really makes it pop. Okay, Mike, do you have the Fry examples from Kristina?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, he's gonna show some of those. All right, there's one where she did You're My Ride or Fry, right? And then she has some loose fries underneath it. I could put some loose fries on the inside. That would be fun too. What's next? Look at that. There's her plaid background builder. Isn't that fun? And this one says, love you more than French fries, just like mine. And then there's love you more than French fries, but a different sentiments. And she did a little shadow coming out the front of it. And is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you struggle finding the right color of cardstock for your fries, you can always ink white cardstock to be whatever you want. I really just looked through my stash and just grabbed what worked. And mine are kind of lighter yellow. If you want it to be more bold, you can go a bit more bold yellow. Isn't that fun? So this is fun because you've got that little fold, okay? Yeah, the shadow, what she did for the shadow is you just put a mask 2 lines and ink over it. Yeah. Yeah, oh, high blood pressure. That's what I was thinking before. Anyway, okay, so that's the first one. Oh, before I move on to a Concord and 9th card, because I used quite a few different Kristina things on that one card. Concord and 9th also came out with, in this release, they released a Happy Mail mailbox, die set and stamp set that was part of an event that they did for Scrapbook and Cards Today a while back, but they're releasing it to everyone else. I don't have it. Let me rephrase that. I can't find mine from that long ago. So Mike has, do you have some examples of the Happy Mail? Happy Mail, not Happy Meal. So Mike's gonna put those up. So there, the cool thing about this is see how the card folds down? So it closes, the part of the card that's laying on the desk there, flips up, and that's what you put in your envelope. And then when you flip it down, the little cards kind of pop up. There's dimension behind those cards. And it also has the Happy Mail die in it, which you could use with other stamps also. Are there any more? There you can see over on the left, it's hard to see, but on the left, you can see what it looks like closed. It has the word post engraved in it with I think it's an embossing folder. So that's what it looks like closed. It looks like the front of a mailbox. And then when you open it, those little cards pop up, those little envelopes. And then there are some stamps, so you can do this style too. And I just think those are great because this is what we do, right? And the greetings on here also would work really well on the flaps of envelopes. Isn't that fun? Oh, look at that. Oh, so cute. So cute. So many ways you can use that too. All right, is that it? Okay. Yes, French fries aren't from France. I think French fries are from Greece, aren't they?
That's what she said.
Yeah, I think they are. But listen, I've never met a bad French fry. Except cold French fries. Those aren't very good to me. Okay, Concord and 9th. We're going to use the Fueled by Love stamp set and die set. I showed this earlier. It creates little gas pumps, and who knew I needed to do gas pumps on my cards, but they're fantastic. So let me tell you that I put these together off screen, and I'll tell you why. These are easy to assemble. And with the die set, which really isn't that big of a set, there are different styles of gas pumps you can put together. They have different ways they can mix and match. Oh, Belgium. Oh, in Belgium, when you get the like little paper wrapped bundle of fries, when I would go to Brussels, oh gosh, so good. Okay, that was back when I was an engineer. But there are lots of options in the stamp set and the die set that allow you to put these together. Aren't those cute? So cute. So I just followed the examples on their website. In fact, on their website, they have little like a guide that says use this and this and this and this together to create the little sign on the top. And so it tells you what all the pieces would be. All right, so here are my little stamp or my little gas pumps. I used this blue was from My Favorite Things, who have gone out of business, but it's just a nice blue. I had a scrap of it. The darker blue is Concord and 9th Blueberry. The yellow is Buttercup from Concord and 9th. I stamped the little stars from the Fueled by Love stamp set on the bottom, and I stamped these little window things, the gray ones. Everything else is die cut. Okay, and I did use some silver cardstock for some shine on these. For the center one, this is Poppy and Cranberry cardstock from Concord and 9th. I did heart die cuts with the Poppy cardstock, and I white heat embossed I'm So Pumped to Be Your Friend because I think that's hilarious. Then here I did, probably I Buttercup, and I think the darker was Sunflower from Concord and 9th. You can see the darker details. And I did some silver cardstock on there. There are two different, like the cords or the pump part itself, there are two different styles. And I used glossy black cardstock for the handles on those. You can add or skip details. I mean, there are lots of other details here that you can mix and match together. And they have a guide over there showing all the different ways you can mix and match them together. If you go to the Fueled by Love over on Concord and 9th, you'd see that, okay? So I did 3 gas pumps. Now this card, I have a couple techniques to share with this. Is it 5 o'clock? Darn it, it's not. Okay. When it's 5 o'clock, I'm gonna have a glass of wine. I'm gonna show you 2 things on this card. We're gonna make it so these pop up, and we're also going to do a fun sliding gift card thing in the inside, okay? So let's start with the front, okay? I thought it would be fun if the background of my card has some faux stitching on. I'm gonna use a much older die for that. This is Concord and 9th powder cardstock, which is a really light blue. That's not too distracting. I didn't want something really bold behind there, so something soft. The white note card that I have is top folding. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. The powder cardstock piece that I have here is 4 by 5 1/4. So see how the powder is smaller than the white note card. Just so there's a little showing. I wanted to add some interest to this but I didn't want it to be too much. I could do the hearts from before. In fact, I thought about doing the hearts, but I already cut it up. But you could do the hearts on the background. Oh, that would have been cute. But I cut it up because I messed up before. So instead, I'm going to add some other texture to this. And I'm using one of the oldie but goodies from Concord and Ninth. This is a really old one that I've used a million times. You can tell my pocket's all torn up. This is the double stitch card front from Concord and Ninth. And they have a few, uh-oh, where are my plates? They have a few dies like this. I'm going to show you, where did my plates go? What the heck? Mike, where do I put my cutting plates? I might need help finding these. I don't. Sometimes I put them underneath for no reason. I put them underneath. Sorry, I put my cutting plates where I keep my Misty.
Yeah, I found them. There they are.
Thanks, Mike. You're helpful. Okay. So the cool thing is there's a weird looking die, but it allows you to do this pattern, this faux stitch pattern in both directions on a card panel. And they have a few like this. They have one that is hearts. They have one that is clouds. And I'm using the stripes. I use this a lot. Let me show you how it works. You can take a vertical panel. Again, this is a little bit smaller. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to lay it down on this portion. You can see there's a little trim around the edges. Lay it down and run it through my die cut machine. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Mike,
Yeah.
if we were in Sweden, it'd be past 10 p.m. We could crack our beverage open. Okay. So you can see how you can get stripes going across, faux stitch stripes going across that panel. Now I can also, instead of or in addition to, last time I cut it this way, this time I'm going to turn it this way. That's why the die looks funny. And you can do it either way, so you have stripes in either directions, but I'm going to do both so I have like a plaid. So I'll lay that down and run it through again. 5 p.m. feels so far away. It's true. They could make it square, but this makes it easier because see how I was able to center it on that portion? Like I could see up here that it was centered. So now look at this. I have a plaid. Isn't that fun? So I'll put that on the background. I could do so much more here, but I'm gonna keep this simple. So I'll just put this on the background for now. Doobie-doo. Put glue on that and add it to the front of my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch note card. And you'll see there's a little white trim around the sides. Thank goodness for wiggle room time, huh? Because I'm having a hard time. Why am I having a hard time? Okay. It's because it's almost 5 o'clock. All right, I'll put something heavy on that. Because there's some texture to it, because of the technique we just did, I'm going to put something heavy on it while it dries. Okay, now I will add my little pumps in a moment. I'm just going to have them float across the top. You could do it ground. You could do whatever. Is this the last set for demo? No, I've got more. I can't just stop with 2. Are you kidding me? All right. Now, while that is going, let me think what I can show you next. Okay, I'll show you this now. While that's drying, I'm going to create cardstock pop-ups to put behind the pumps. Did somebody ask what else you could do for the background, Mike? Question, there it is. What else might you have done with the background? If you go to the Concord and Ninth website, oh, I got some boogies up there. If you go to the Concord and Ninth website, there are lots of different examples of how to use these. I want to keep the front of my card pretty simple because I don't want it to be too distracting. I think I'm going to scatter mine like that. You could make it flat, you could put a ground, and you could stamp like your friendship fuels me up, or You fill my day with smiles. You could stamp something under there on the ground, but I want to keep mine pretty simple because I'm going to have something really interesting on the inside. And usually if I do something really interesting on the inside, I try to keep the outside more simple. Yes, you could do this way. You could put them landscape too. Okay, you could do it either way. But for what I have planned, because I've already stamped a sentiment on the inside, I'm doing this way. What colors are the pumps? I mentioned the colors like a few minutes ago, so if you rewind, you'll hear those. But I think I might just have mine kind of like that. I don't know, maybe I'll do straight. And then I can actually have parts of it hang off the edge and put it in a bigger envelope. So, or I can just have them close together. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I want to make these so that when you take them out of the envelope, they pop up. You could, if you wanted to, do little action wobblers, but then they would shake and not just pop up. I just want them to pop up. So I have cut a piece of cardstock here. It really can be any color because nobody's going to see it. But I cut this to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inches. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I will do 3 score lines on this side. I'll do one at a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/2 inches. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/2. Then I'll rotate and do it from the other side. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/2 inches. So let me show you what that looks like, because I know you can't really see the score lines. I'm going to accordion fold the sides. Put this away. That's funny. So see, that's one side, and the other side is the same thing. So I'm ending up with what looks like that from the side. It's a giant piece, but I'm going to cut 3 from it so each of these will pop up. So I'm going to kind of flatten this back out, and I'll cut these to be about a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, maybe a little more. Doesn't really matter, as long as it's more narrow than our pump. But by scoring first, then I have 3 pieces. I could cut the 3 pieces and they're each ready to go. So they all look like this. I'll put those on the back of my cards, or my pumps. So first, on this big platform, put some glue, and I'll glue that right directly to the back of one of my pumps. So it sticks out like that. It looks like these crazy legs sticking out the back. And I'll do that to each of them. So I have this fun kind of fold here. I've shown variations of this before, but I think it's important to show that you can do it to multiples. So put that to the back of that. So it's sticking out again. Can you scroll? Yes, it's easier to score big pieces of paper and then cut the strips out of it than it is to score each of those thin ones. So on the platform of that, and I'll put it on the back of this one. So now I have to think about where I want to put these. I think I want to, all right, you guys can help me vote. You can vote for me. Mike, should I stagger them so they're like, I want the one with the greeting at the center. I like the red in the center. Should I stagger them so they're kind of like that, or should I line them up? So staggered or lined up. Yes, I know there should be a ground underneath it, but I don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't know why. So Mike's going to put it in the chat and you can vote. Should I stagger it or put them straight? And we'll stagger or put them straight across. And while you all vote on that, I'm going to set that aside. The maker of this die is Concord 9th. This is the Fueled with Love, and it's linked in the YouTube description below. So you guys can vote at the top of the chat for stagger or line them up. And while you do that, I'm going to work on the inside. I am doing a slider gift card design. Now, you don't have to put a gift card on this. You could do a slider like sentiment design. You'll see. But just stick with me here so I can explain the inside. Once you see it, it'll make more sense. Now for my staggered gift, oh, most people are, hold on. Most people are saying stagger. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those down because I wanna glue them down and put something heavy on it while it dries. So I think I'll start with the red one. I want him in the center. So I'm putting adhesive on these bottom flaps. So right here and right here. Let me put glue on those. And I will place those two little flaps down. Oops, fold them down. Ooh, I put them too high. And put them like, you know, I want them a little bit to the left, more towards the top, like that. So this is what it looks like from the side. Do you see that? Put my hand under it. So you see how that looks? And I'll put something heavy on that. I'll just put a magnet over it. Then I'm gonna put the yellow one over here. Put adhesive just on those little flaps. Kind of fold this down when you put it down. And I'll put that like right there. See how they really pop up? They flatten and they pop up. And then the blue one over here. Can you scroll, Mike? How many times a day do I say that? And then this one's going to be down here. So see how they're, make sure. Yeah, there we go. So see, they're all on their own little platform. So look how much they pop up and stick out from the front of the card. I mean, it's like an inch, but it also flattens when you put it in an envelope, okay? So I'm gonna leave that to dry for a bit. Now we're gonna do that fun mechanism on the inside. And I should have completed one to show you. Just stick with me and you'll see. Now for the inside of this, I want to create a pocket. And the pocket's gonna go right along the bottom here. It's gonna actually cover up the whole bottom. But let me show you. This is a piece of cardstock. It can be any color. I chose white because on this piece is where you'll write your personal message. This piece is 5 1/4 inches, 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches. 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm doing a score line at 1/2 inch from this edge and 1/2 inch from this edge. And I'll fold along those score lines and you end up with the piece that looks like this. All right. This I'm going to use to create a pocket, basically. All right. So I'm going to glue this on the inside, and I think it's better if you just take scissors and kind of cut a little boop, a little corner, boop. I know that's a different use of the word boop, but little corner off of each of these. So up to the score line. See how that is? Kind of mitered it or whatever. All right, so now I will put glue on this flap and glue on this flap. And then this will get glued. So I have those little flaps. See the flaps there? My fingers are in the glue, and I'll lay that down to the bottom. So the flaps are folded under on the left and the right, and it's open on the bottom. That's okay. And it fits perfectly the width of the card. So can you see there's a pocket along the, this is open up here. There's only glue on that flap and that flap on the two sides. All right, let me put heavy on there. All right, now that's going to be a pocket that our sentiment will pull out of. I did a white piece of cardstock again. Just bear with me, it'll make sense in a moment. Let me put more on there. Okay, I have another piece of white cardstock here. Scroll mic, I know, I say it all the time. This piece of cardstock here can be any color, but I did it at 5 inches by 4 inches. 5 by 4. And I also scored here at 4 inches. So there's like a 1-inch flap here. So I just scored at 4 inches. And I folded along that score line. So again, it's 5 by 4, and there's a score inch or score line 1 inch from the top. All right. Now this is going to be the part that will slide out of that pocket when you open it. So You see the flap there? I'll put glue up here on the top. So let me, there's glue all over this right here so you can see. Okay. I'm going to slide this into my pocket on the inside until the top edge of that flap is lined up with that fold line on my card. See how the top edge of that flap is lined up with my fold line? Lined up right up there. I stamped a sentiment. You could do that after if you wanted to, but I'll talk about that in a moment. And I'll close my card onto it. Now, while this, let me put something heavy on this. And then while I do that, I have a video that I did oh good, I found it. I did a video a long time ago with this technique, and I'll put that in the chat right now if you want to open that up and watch it later on. So what happens is, watch, when I open it up, that panel, can you see it slides in and out? All right, the reason is, I need that glue to dry some more. I'm gonna put a gift card on there. I'm too lazy. I did go get a gas gift card for a Shell station, but it's in my car and I'm too lazy to go up there. My garage is as opposite side of the house from my craft room. So I just have a different gift card here. But pretend this is a gas gift card. You can put glue dots or little temporary adhesive on the back of it. I'm gonna open this up and I will put this right there on that flap. So what happens is, when you open the card, see the gift card slides up and you see that sentiment too. All right. Now I'm going to do more to zhuzh this up on the inside. I think some little hearts next to it would be fun. So let's put a heart there and a heart there. I die cut some Concord and 9th hearts. Pick them up with a wax tip and put one there and one there. You could do more or less, but I stamped "You Fill My Life with Happiness." I thought that kind of went with all of it, and that's from the same Concord and 9th stamp set. All right. I also want like a nice finished edge on that pocket. So watch what I do. Close this up, just leave that to dry. I will take a piece of blue that I used on the front. Remember, this is an older discontinued blue cardstock, but you can use it whatever color you want. I'm going to cut that from that same double stitch background. Let me run that through my die cut machine. This is going to be like a border that goes across that pocket, just to give it a little zhuzh on the inside. I put the video showing more of how to do this with different products in the chat there, so you can catch it. So see the little stitching? I'm going to cut a line out of that. Just one row of stitching. So I'm going to cut like above and below. I'll show you a close-up look here in a moment. Oop. See the, like, I cut out a double stitch line. I'm going to use that border as a decorative edge. So see that right along this top border. So I'll put some glue right here along that top edge and glue this down. It just gives it a finished look, and it brings some of that color from the front to the inside. So I'll put that down, and then I think it'd be fun to put a little thin line of yellow down too. Foxy just sighed. She didn't like that idea. Okay. Put this down. So see how it gives that little decorative edge. Now you could stamp a greeting here. You could do more up here. You could change this up and zhuzh this up however you want. But I'm keeping it pretty simple. Let me show you the final thing. All the things we did to this. Trim all this off. So on the front, see how they stand up so much? And you get just that dimension, but they flatten. See, they all flatten to go in an envelope. Okay, but they pop up when you take them out of the envelope. Basically, we created little spring platforms out of cardstock behind each of those. So you could do a ground on here and have all pop up together. I don't know. I just thought this was fun. So that's what I did. And then when you open it up, watch. See how the gift card slides up? You have that nice finished little detail there, and you can write your personal sentiment under here. I didn't seal the bottom of it. I don't think you need to, but you could. So see the detail on that? So when you open it, isn't that fun? Now, if you don't want to do a gift card, you could do a photo here or do an additional image. I think I've done examples before with like a critter that pops out. If it's a different theme card, you could have just a sentiment that slides open. Maybe put the slide or the sentiment down. Totally up to you. But I thought that was fun. So and also if you wanted to simplify this, you could make it so just this pops up on a card, or you just have this slider mechanism. This has lots going on, but I don't know. I think it's fun. And this card, I know it says I'm pumped to be your friend, but I'm giving this to Colin because once I put the gas gift card in there, because who couldn't use gas money right now? Especially college students, but yeah. Isn't that fun? Is lots of movement here. I mean, it's just, yeah, it would be good for masculine or feminine. And there's other greetings. You could just do love you. This is more of a friend theme. You can get creative with these. And I just think they're so cute. And look at these little heart die cut details that I put down. Those may seem like a pain to deal with. So if you don't want to, you could use the little heart stamps that are all connected. So it's a bigger stamp. But I just die cut using this die here. It cuts 4 little hearts. And then you just pick up the tiny heart and put them in a dotted glue with a wax pickup stick. Yeah, you could just put cash there and people would know. But this slides really nice. See how it slides from the side? So you can incorporate that technique with other products too. So I hope you see how the techniques I've been showing you on these cards could be done with a variety of products, even things you have in your stash. Okay, isn't that fun? I'm not done. All right, everybody alive? I hope you're alive. We're gonna do some sunshine. I really love a good, it's almost 5. I love a good sunshine themed card because I feel like there's nothing better than getting a bright card in the mail, and sunshine theme is a big thing for me. I used to stitch a bunch of sunshine felt things and send them to people like 10 years ago. I feel like that's something we could all always use. So when I saw sunshine for a cloudy day, I thought I would do a bottle of sunshine and in the inside have yellow shaking. So little yellow gems on it. So we're gonna do this as a shaker, but you could do this a million other ways, and I'll talk about those when we go. And you could do this with a variety of products. Somebody said you need a pickup stick tool. I really love the Gina K. I just find it works well. It comes with lids, but I don't keep them. Wax tip, you gotta be gentle with it because it is wax, but it picks up little dies and little die cuts really easy. So like here's a little yellow heart. I mean, you can pick it up and then put it into your glue. Then the other side is a piercing tool, which after I put it in my glue, I can move it around with the piercing end. I have multiples of these because I like them. I just think they're great. Some other companies have them too. Altenew, Pink Fresh, and Simon Says Stamp, and Trinity. I just happen to have a bunch of the Gina K. Okay, so I prepared. I showed you all this earlier. Oh, yes, you want to be gentle because it's wax tip. If you do break it for any reason, they sell wax tip replacements. Mickey, you said, am I crazy or did I see a previous video that oh, it went away. A previous video, I think that showed my glass bottles and the stand that I keep them in, the display that I use, or there it is. Put it on the screen. There we go. Oh gosh, I'm too old to read that. Hold on. Where did I put my glasses? Come on. Okay. Oh, that's so funny. Am I crazy or did I see a previous video that you have a stand that holds the little clear bottles with the shaker bits and gems in them? Yes. I did a video for my crafty gift guide. It was out in November, I believe. And I show how I do these bottles and my stand. I love this system. Love it, and it looks so cool on display. I have 4 of the stands over there. So if you look at my crafty gift guide, you can find that. Okay, so I showed this earlier. You can do a ship, you can do a letter in a bottle, you can do a cloud of sunshine, a love potion. I'm first doing the, oh, Brianne put my crafty gift guide video up there. I'm gonna do the sunshine first, and if I have time, I'll do the ship, okay? Oh, Vicky's here. Hi, Vicky. It's been a while, Vicky. We need to catch up, Vicky. Let's start with the sunshine because I love a good happy sunshine card. So I did a little prep off screen. Let me show you. This piece right here. On white cardstock, I stamped this outline, this like solid one that says sunshine for a cloudy day. I stamped that a few times, multiple stamp images of powder blue ink. So it's like a perfect blue. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Okay. So all that white is just the cardstock, the white cardstock showing through. But notice sunshine in cloudy day is yellow. So after I stamped this image, I lined these words up. It's one image that lines up perfectly with the open letters here, and I stamped it with yellow. So this was done with Buttercup. So the background was this with powder, and then over that I stamped sunshine with the cloudy day with Buttercup. And look at the, isn't that pretty? Now, it didn't take long at all. Then I used the coordinating die to cut it out. And I also glued a yellow heart on there. Hold, please. I need to hug on Lila. Hi. How was your day?
That was good.
Oh. Oh. Will you text me in a little bit? Or can I text you when I'm done?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going over to Luke's? Okay. Let me know. Okay. Okay. So there is like the label for our bottle, but you could also just trim it to like a rectangle and put it on a card. All right, now for my background, what was I gonna do? Oh, I remember what I was gonna do on the background. I was gonna use this on the background, but I already destroyed it. So I could make another, or I could do something different. I wanna do the blue again. I really liked it. So let me show you. I will take a piece of powder cardstock. I have some here. You get a new piece of powder cardstock. This is the light blue from Concord. How hard is what to line up? Oh, it's super easy. I'll show you. How somebody asked, how hard is the cloudy sunshine day? How hard it is to line up? You can see these letters fit exactly in it, and when after you've stamped this, you can see through the stamp and see that they line up. It's very easy to do. I had no problem at all. Oh, I could use the wave. I could. I'm not going to use it, but you could. Yeah, I guess I could. For what I'm doing, I'm not planning to, but you could use that wave background die. I think I really want to use the hearts again. I really like these. So this is the, oh, you know what? I'll use the heart background stamp. This is the Jumble of Hearts background stamp from Kristina Werner. So I could use the stencils, but I'm going to do this. I didn't destroy it. You're right, NK. You're right. I didn't destroy it. I just changed gears. Got my stamp here. I get my Misty out. I'll put my powder cardstock. This is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'll put that in there. I'll put my stamp on top. Oh, I love this. Kristina's so good. All right. So there. Oh, is this one of those? I don't know. No, I guess it wouldn't be. Let me see. My cardstock shifted. There we go. So now on this, I can stamp. I want to do tone on tone, so I'll use powder. And I'll warn you, my powder, I think, needs re-inking. But whatever. We know this is true of all my inks. Oh, maybe this one. I think Kristina might have re-inked this one. I don't know. It looks like Harbor to me. Maybe it was re-inked. Who knows? All right, so let's stamp this. I'll do it once. Oh, I love that. And twice. There we go. Oh, isn't that pretty? So, ooh, I have little hair or little cardstock boogies on my stamp. So I'm going to do it again. See, there's these little dots. It means they're actually the little dots from my stitching dies. But there we go. It'll be covered up. So there we go. Isn't that fun? Ooh, I like that. Woo. So this is it stenciled. This is it stamped. Okay. Now, that might be too dark. Yeah, I think that's too dark. I'm going to save that. Sorry, y'all. I have to change my mind 1,400 times. I'm afraid with everything else on the card that will be too intense. So I want something softer. I should have used a lighter color ink, but I didn't. What's wrong, Mike?
Nothing. No.
What happened?
No, it's completely unrelated.
Mike loves to like do a sigh or like face because I can see him, and it freaks me out that I did something.
Unrelated.
I don't believe you. Is it about a pinball machine?
Actually, yeah.
Is it really? He lost out on it buying a pinball machine? Is that what it is, Mike?
No, it's just a part I was going to buy doubled in price since I put it on my list. Yeah.
He buys parts of pinball machines. You know, I don't understand it, but I've been known to buy things for my crafting that make no sense too. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent on felt, and I shouldn't be. But I figured my therapist was on vacation for 2 weeks, and so I didn't have my therapy charge for 2 weeks. And so I spent that much on felt because it's another form of therapy. Do you think insurance will cover it? I can't believe I just told you that. Okay, so I did a light amount of powder ink. Look how beautiful that is, soft, quick. By the way, this is the Pink Fresh 1-inch blending brush. I call it the magic brush because it does very fast, even blending. You don't get harsh lines, and you can do soft amount of color. Because look at this stamping is the same color ink as that blending. So I was able to control and get a softer look with the same ink using that brush. Okay, I'm waiting for the comments to come in on how I shouldn't have said that. Okay, or maybe people agree, I don't know. So now from this, I can cut this in half again. Insurance should cover craft supplies. See? Cut this in half, Crafter or Craft Math, you're right, Annette. 2 background panels, but I'm only going to use 1 right now, and I want to cut it down. I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4 by 4. So it's a bit smaller than the card that we'll put this on. Wouldn't it be nice if they covered all of ours? What's wrong with them? All right, from this, I'll cut the bottle. That's going to go on it, but let's cut the bottle out from it. I'm going to make a shaker card, and I know, because every time I make a shaker card, there's always somebody in the comments who says, I don't like shaker cards. Okay, you can just make this a window card or just make a flat version of this. You don't have to do it. This is just an example. I saw this and I thought a bottle of sunshine needs to have some shiny shaking going on. Hey, Mike, you want to be the best brother in the world? It should be tax deductible. Can you go get me a glass of wine? It's close to 5 o'clock. I think I don't know. I'm not going to say a word. Okay, so there is a window. Ooh, I need to keep the bottle. I'm going to do something with that. And this will be the label, and I'm going to have shaking behind it. So let me think about how to do this. Because I had this idea, but I don't have all the pieces cut. I have a scrap piece of acetate here. This can be any acetate. Grab something recycled. This is recycled. Just needs to be bigger than the window. I'll flip this over. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. I keep running out of my tape runner. I refilled some of them. Okay, this one's fresh. I put adhesive all around the back side of the window, put the acetate on it. So see how it's a window now. So you can make this a window card. You don't have to have anything shaky. I know there's anti-shaky people out there. I get it. So that's going to be behind it. This will get glued on the front, but I want dimension. So so I did an extra white die cut. Let's do another extra white die cut. I didn't glue that together well. See, I don't have my wiggle room. Yeah. Will somebody out there get a glass of wine or champagne or beer and have it with me? Hopefully my coach isn't watching. Actually, he wouldn't have a problem with it. How much do each bottle hold in those rotating gem holders? Honestly, I don't know. They're big. And I also have smaller ones. I'll have to try that out. Some of mine that are really full, I had multiple containers in there. Dana will have wine with me. I'm going on a cruise with Dana soon. Okay, so see? That's how it's going to look on the front. I could have made this bolder to stand out, but I'm not going to. Okay, now up here, I want to have... Well, let's just go ahead and do the shaky. Okay. Let's get my note card ready. No. Hi. Sorry. Thank you. Hoist your water for me. That works. I don't know. You know, I really had high hopes for 2026, but... who knows? I don't know. If you're an empath, I know you're feeling a lot right now, especially those of us in the US, and we need a little extra creative therapy, right? Okay, so this is just a scrap piece of white cardstock. It's going to go behind it, all right? At the center of that, I'll glue this guy down so that this will be foam adhesive and kind of float above. So you see the pattern continuous. And this will go on there. Thanks, Mike. And you can also scroll. Thanks. 2026 is already a dumpster fire. Who said that? Whoever said that, Monkey King, you got to come to my live on Sunday. Just do it. Just do it. Trust me. Come to my live on Sunday. I will have something special for all my fellow dumpster fire folks. I got this from Brienne, our Link Ninja. Okay. Now I want to have yellow sunshine shaking around in here. So I grabbed a few options. These are older Spellbinders sequins. I like these because they're sparkly or iridescent. You could do gemstones in here. You could do glitter if you really wanted to. I don't usually like to put glitter in my shaker windows, but you could. But I cut these hearts, and I was going to have them scattered on the front of the card, but I think I'm going to put these little hearts on the inside of my shaker. I know that's crazy. But I cut a bunch of them. It was therapy. Maybe I have too many yellow. Who knows? I may change my mind, but I want to spread them out. Because if you put a big pile in the center, they might get stuck when you put the glitter on it. Yeah, the Spellbinders, you're right. Linda, that's what it is. Okay, I'm putting these hearts in. I'm putting one at a time so that they're all upright because I'm anal that way. Or I'm sorry, I am a lover of details that way. Okay, so I'm putting, so there's hearts, yellow hearts in here and also yellow sequins. You could also put, I'm not going to, but you could put like clear gemstones. I just wanted a lot of yellow for sunshine. Did I clean up my floor yet? No, I didn't. That doesn't sound fun. Why would I do that? Okay. There's a few things you could do. I could die cut a bunch of windows and stack those up to create the walls. But I think instead, I'm just going to use foam tape. Hold on. Let me find the foam tape I want to use. I'm running low on all my Altenew foam tape. I got some more. Let me open a new bottle. A new thing. Yeah, America, I'm with you. Okay. One of the things I really like about Altenew foam tape is, look at this. This is the packaging. It's not stuck there. the sides of this isn't sticky, which I like. I don't like when the side of the tape is really sticky. Okay, let's take some here. What I'll do is, I think I'll put it around on this, on the back side of this. I'll put this double-sided tape close to the window all the way around. Again, there are many ways you could do this. This is just what seems to work for me on a Friday night because I have no life and I have no plans for tonight. You know what my plans are? Hanging out with my mom and my brother. Everybody else is going to be out and about. That's not... love you, Mike.
Yeah, whatever.
Woo! Mike's got to get sick of me because he works with me and hangs out with me and all the things. So I'm just kind of going around here. You got your wine. Oh, thank you. It's Erica's in Phoenix. She says it's 5 o'clock in Ohio. So in Arizona, she should be able to drink too. Go for it. Okay. Jesse would approve, I believe. Okay, so I put tape all around it, and then I'll put some more tape around that. Again, there are a million ways you could do this cleaner, but this is what I'm going with. I am handing this card. Actually, I'm not handing it. I'm putting it in a package from my friend. So I'm good with lots of bulk. I could have done less bulk if I wanted to, but you could do a flat shaker card behind this. Lots of things you could do, but this is what's going to work for me. How's Gran? Gran is...
Grant's actually listening, and the reason I brought that up, she said somebody in chat said, how is Gran? Say she's doing good, getting on with her life, 82.
Okay. So apparently Gran's watching. This is a new thing. She never used to watch my live, so I have to watch what I say. No, I'm just kidding. Gran is doing well. She is gonna they're building like new condos for like a retirement community here. And it's a really nice one. And it's near by where she lives now and where we live, or where I live, and also near where Mike lives. We all live close by. And it's a retirement community, and they have so many activities. And my dad wasn't the type who wanted to go do activities. My mom, when I go on vacation with my mom, she wants to go out late at night. Like on a cruise, she'll go out to the shows and stuff, and I'm in the room stitching.
She runs your teenage son tired.
Yes. When we go on vacation with my teenage son, he's like, can we just sleep in? And she's like, no, we got things to do. So Gran is very active. So like last night she went to a bluegrass concert. She does all the things. And every day, every night that she comes over, whenever she comes over, she always has her iPad in hand. And I know that means she's looking at flights for somewhere to go. She is on a mission to travel to all of her favorite places now before she's too old. Do you see what I'm doing with all of the release paper? I just throw it to the side, every direction. Okay. So foam tape, I'm going to line this up. I got to look overhead. I could have put liquid adhesive on it so I had some wiggle room time, but I was living on the edge. Look at that. Oh, I wish I would have put more in. Surgery. Hold, please. I'm going to pull this up and stick some more in there. This is where you say, Jennifer, you're going to regret this. So anyways, while I perform surgery, I'm going to put some more in here. If somebody asked about, yeah, see, they're going to be stuck on the edge now because I'm pulling it apart. If you don't want them to stick on the edge of your tape, you can always do some anti-static powder tool along the inside edge, but I don't care. Oh, I'm making what you call an A number 1 mess. But I don't mind if they all, oh, I see what I'm doing. Hold, please. See, I'm putting them behind the bottle. This is the stuff that I normally can edit out of videos, but you can't in a live. I'm really messing up. So just ignore what I'm doing, please. She wants to travel all the places. And I keep saying, I can't travel all the time. I have to work. So she has traveled with my friends. So like Diana Curtis and Sika and Leanne, who are all in the chat, Kristina, Dana, she's constantly texting them and saying, hey, want to go on a trip? Because she wants somebody to go with her. Okay, I'm making what you call a big mess, but I should have put more whoa, oh. Just ignore me. Circe. I should have done it from the bottom. Listen, you know, I haven't even had a sip of that wine yet. I just, you know, yes. So anyways, Mom loves to travel. She has more energy than any of us. She'll come over here at night, play Catan with us, and then go home and get on the treadmill. I go to bed. So she is an active, and she's always been active, but now I think my dad kind of would say to her, hey, just chill for a bit. I'm going to leave these sequins that are stuck up here just to, nobody will ever know. I'm just closing this up before I do more damage. Where's my liquid adhesive? Here it is. Just ignore those. Okay, let me tell you what I tried to do. I tried to put more sequins in there and I accidentally put them behind the bottle. It's okay. Some of them will be stuck up here, but that's, oh, much better. So now there's more moving and I have a mess. I'll scoop those back in. Put that down. So see, this happens to me too. People always say, how do you never make mistakes? Trust me, I do. It's just that I do this a lot, or I practice off screen, or I edit it out of a pre-recorded video. Okay, I will take a sip. Pressure. Okay, let me put this on my card base. Okay. So Gran is doing well. If you're the praying type, you can pray for her brother, who is 90. Very good man. And, you know, age is catching up with him. So you can pray for him. His name is Don. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. So there's hearts and sequins. Lots of shine. I wanted that, but it's also continuous, like a clear bottle. Now this goes right here. I might go back and change this later and change this label. Instead of the harbor on the background, I might change like this label to be a darker, like Tide Pool ink there instead, so that the label stands out more, but I'd still do the letters in the buttercup. And then for the top here, I cut a lid. We can glue that directly on the top. You could skip the lid if you wanted. And again, that one I probably will leave that color. No, I don't know. I might change both of them. Just glue something different on top. Then, hang on. But you can see how you could use this in so many ways. Like that. Then there is this little string you can wrap around, like kind of looks like it wraps around the neck. Oh, I need to cut it though. So this little is meant to wrap around the neck of the die cut. You'll see it in a minute. See how it's like a string wrapped around the top? Then there's a little bow and a little tag. So this little tag would say like for you. So I can stamp that. It's in here. Or XOXO, but I like for you. And I think I'll stamp the for you. I'm afraid black will stand out too much. For now, I'll do the harbor, but I may change that label. We'll see. I still haven't gotten that sip of wine yet. I know. Okay, so there's this little tag. This is in the same set, and this little for you is in the same set. Did Lila head out?
No.
Okay. Whoop, let me do it in the corner. So, I'm making an inked mess because this is inky in here. Hang on. This needs cleaning, see? stick better if I would clean it. Okay. Put this in the corner here and put the For You on top of it. Not upside down. That. Yeah, this yellow I think is really fun. But you could do the Love Potion or some of the other... Oh, that moved. There we go. No, it moved. All right. Where's my powder? Did I put it away? Nope, I didn't. Where'd it go? See, it's that time. Oh, here it is. It's in my inkstand. There is a lot of blue, but here's the thing. I don't want to do black because you could by all means do black on this. The reason I'm not is I don't want it to be the focal point. If I did black on this, it would end up the focal point. What I'm going to do instead is restamp this background in a darker color. You could do red and put a heart on here. There's a lot you can do, but I'm just going to put like that. I know everybody's got a different jam about how they want to do something, but I will tell you, I'm going to redo that darker. But there is also in this die set a little bow, and I'll put that right at the top here. Okay, so what I will plan to do, oh, I got boogers there, is change this label to be a darker blue. Oh, sip, sorry. Thank you, Lori. Okay, so that's what I'll do to change it. But look at, you see the little hearts and the little shine in there. Isn't that fun? I love that. I'm not sure, let me think about like a darker, maybe Harbor would be good. Oh, that wouldn't be too dark. Let's try Harbor. I think my Harbor needs to be ranked also, but we'll see. Let me try it. Somebody asked about how hard it is to line it up, and so this will show you. Let's see how Harbor is. Harbor. So I did powder before. I might have been speaking wrong that whole time. I did powder before. Let's do Harbor, and we'll stamp it a few times to make it darker. Yeah, that's darker. Oh, there's something on there. What's on there? I'm going to stamp this a few times to make it dark. Oh, that will be good. And I might change the lid to be darker too. There's something on my stamp. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So see how there's that, and then I'll take some of that ink, and from this I'll die cut a new lid. Now this will fade a little bit. Not fade, but soften, like many dye inks do. But I'll still do the sunshine for a cloudy day in Buttercup. So it just lines right up with the opening on the stamp. Hey there, Ken. What's up? Okay. Did you text the dad?
Yeah.
With that question?
Yep.
Thank you. Look at, I made a sunshine in a bottle.
What kind of bottle?
It's a bottle of sunshine. See the bottle?
Looks like a medicine.
Like a whiskey bottle.
It's not whiskey.
It could be.
All right.
And it would be full of sunshine.
That's true. There we go. I'll double stamp
I'm gonna
that.
take her.
Have fun.
Give me a call when you go.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So there we go. See? Now let me heat set that so you can see what the color will be. Sunshine, or a bottle filled with sunshine. That'd be fun. If the audio froze, it's probably YouTube. Just hit refresh. Let me just show you what this looks like, because it's going to bother me. And I know it'll bother some of you that it's a little too... You see whiskey? Well, then you guys, all you whiskey people can make whiskey bottles. Listen, no judgment here. It's 2026, which apparently is going to be just like 2025. The Altenew tape. Yeah, Mike, can you add to the supply list the Altenew tape runner glue? If we add something during the live to the supply list, it doesn't always show up in the YouTube description, but at the top of the YouTube description, look at that. Look at the difference. At the top of the YouTube description, you will find a link that has the word live in it. If you go to that and open that up in a new page, at the bottom of that, you'll see thumbnails of all the products I use. And whenever we add any products to the supply list, they'll show up there. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. And add my yellow die cut heart back in place. Okay, come on now. Okay, I want to make 49 of these. Look at that. Have you ever had water in a shaker work? I've seen years ago, somebody did like, to make it look like water in a shaker, they did like a little Ziploc bag and they put like some sort of clear gel in it. And so it looked like water in there. I don't know. I've never tried it. There we go. See how it stands out now? You could have done like pink or whatever. I wanted blue and yellow. I love blue and yellow together. And so it's, I mean, talk about, would it be happy? Yeah, I knew the darker would look better as soon as I did it, but once you put things together, sometimes you realize you have to change it. If you want it to stand out more, you could go even darker, or you could do, like, as I said, red, or you could even do black for that background. All right. Can I do one more card, Mike?
Sure.
Is Gran here?
I don't know.
Okay. So far we have 3 cards. Okay. There's something that landed on that. Okay. I'm going to keep this here. Isn't that great? I love it. But remember, there are so many ways to use this set. This is the Oceans and Potions. This is the ship from the Oceans and Potions. And I love this.
On her way.
She's on her way. Okay, so let's see. I'm curious. I don't have as much planned for this. I could do a wobble, like a pendulum. I could. Or I could use the wavy card front and have this like tucked in some waves. Or use the waves that come with the Oceans and Potions dies and have it tucked in. There's the Love You Boatloads, which I like, or the Best Friendship, or Best Ship is Friendship. I think, or Lost Without You, I like that too. I think I'm going to do Love You Boatloads. Should I? You guys can help me vote, or help me decide. I could do, put it in a bottle, like put acetate on the front, and just put it on a card. Or I can make it wobble, rock, or I can do the boat alone. Should I put the boat in the bottle or boat alone? Boat, ship in a bottle or ship alone? Ship with the P. Yeah, you could just put an action wobbler behind it if you wanted to. So I could, if you do bottle, just show you. I could put acetate on the front. I like that little water there. I could do waves. I could tuck it into waves, tie some string around the edge. Let's see what you all tell me to do. So there's a poll at the top of the chat. Oh, everybody's going to have different opinions. Well, here's the thing. You could do both. Either, I mean. So like if you cut this background, you could tuck the little ship into the waves, and then you could just stamp Love You Boatloads like along a wave, or the Best Ship is Friendship. They also have this little banner die in there that cuts those out nicely. What do people say? Put it in a bottle. Okay, let me show you how I'm going to put this in a bottle. Let me show you. I want to cut the bottle from acetate. Okay, let me get a piece of it. Do you hear my slippers flopping? I've got slippers on. I don't know if this is good acetate or not. I think this is good acetate. I'm hoping it is. I want to cut the bottle from acetate. You can use scrap. You can use acetate that you purchase. If you want to purchase good acetate, I have two favorites. One is Pink Fresh heat resistant acetate or Simon Says Stamp heat resistant acetate. But if you want to cut acetate with the die, it can sometimes be tricky. This is the trick. You take your acetate, you put your die on top of it. Then you want to take a piece of scrap paper and put it behind the acetate. So I have, let me turn this so it's big enough. I have the die face down, the acetate, and then scrap paper behind it. All right, I'll place that on there, run that through my die cut machine. Sometimes it's good to run it through a couple times because it's like with stamping. If it stamps well after one stamp, another is better. Let's see if that cut through. Yep, and that cuts through. So now we have an acetate piece. Oop, it didn't cut this corner. Oh, I had something in there. Sorry about that. There we go. Now I have an acetate bottle. And what I'll do is just tie it on the top there. I'll show you. Hold on. Let me show you. I'm not sure if it's gonna, I am not slapping any acetate to get today. Whoever said that. Who said that? Not copy paper. That was thick cardstock. If you put thick cardstock behind it, it just puts more pressure. I'm not smacking any acetate, you bad people. There are troublemakers out there. Hold on, I have to get I want some jute. Ooh. Now this would also be fantastic to do a shaker bottle or shaker window, just like I showed you. You would do the exact same thing I showed you here. Just do it. You could do it sideways, right? And then you could just put a window. You don't even have to put shaker bits in it. And it could be like a window. Or you could put some little clear shaker bits in there, just a few. Totally up to you. I am not. If somebody's wondering why I'm talking about smacking acetate, that would be Gina's fault. I could smack it if I want to, but I haven't had enough wine for that. All right, let's see how we put this together. I'm just figuring it out. I think I'll put him in there. So I created this using just some brown cardstock scraps. I'll show you in just a minute. Let me put him in there. Oh, that's so cute. Isn't that great? I know there are some companies who had shipped stamp sets and had some punny sentiments that you could put along with this. I think Simon Says Stamp had one. Now this I'll glue right along the top. So this right here, I stamped that with powder ink a few times on white cardstock and used the die to cut it out. Now this gets glued on top. So this is everything that I'll have inside of my bottle. There are so many variations you can do of this, and remember, they're all on Concord and 9th website. Lori, I like you. She said I should sip. Okay. Any questions up there, Mike?
Drink.
I like Mike because he has a heavy pour. Okay. Do the waves cut out or emboss? You could do it either way. The wave die, this one, let me cut it and show you what it looks like. And then you can also emboss. If you use your flexible embossing mat underneath it, instead of cutting plates, you could instead get an embossed look. But I'm just going to cut it here so you can see. Hang on. Okay. It's Friday, y'all. Isn't this nice? Did I use eyelets on the ship? I did not. Did not. Joanne, you're funny. These are, I'll show you in a moment. Let me first show you this. This is what the die does. So you could like cut it from dark blue and then cut it from light blue and inlay all the different pieces. But isn't that fun? Or you can use your embossing mat behind it and get an impression. I may do that. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, somebody asked something. What did they say? Somebody said something? I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, now this, I am just holding that acetate die cut on the front, just lining it up and holding it there. If you had a binder clip, that would be good to clip it. Just clip it there. I'm going to put tape on this edge, just some temporary tape to hold it there. And I'll actually put a magnet on it too, just to hold it there. Then I'm taking some jute. This is a big roll of jute I bought years ago from May Arts. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but I have been using it for years. And I'm going to wrap it around the bottle. So I'm wrapping it around the cardstock and the acetate. So this jute that I'm wrapping around is attaching or holding the acetate to the front, so you get that shine. And I don't have to worry about hiding my adhesive then. I can always come up with a way to hide it. You know what I'm going to do? This is another thing you can do. Take some reverse tweezers, clamp the knot with the reverse tweezers, and then it's easier to tie a bow. Kind of like holding your finger onto onto the ribbon when you're tying a bow on a package. But since I don't have tiny fingers, I use the tweezers. So you just get this sized. There we go. Tie that. I'll show you. Look at this. So now that acetate is tied to Brian, every time I get those knives out, Brian freaks. So the acetate, look at the acetate's just floating on there. It's only attached by that jute, but now it's got the shine of a bottle. Little details, right? And everything's inside of it, inside of that bottle. So you could have done acetate on the background and acetate on the front, or skip the acetate on the back. So it looks like a clear bottle, but I wanted the blue behind there because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. So see how it's a shiny bottle? But you could have done this as a shaker window or set it back. Lots you could do. Yeah, Brian, look away, Brian. Okay, now I'm not sure what I want to do. I shouldn't spend too much more time on this because you guys are going to get bored. I could do pendulum. So it rocks. I might do that. That could be an utter disaster. Should I just glue it to a card, or should I make it rock? Mike, can you do a poll? This could be a total disaster. It's Friday night and I've done 4 lives, and I might try to tackle something hard without thinking it through first. Betsy said pendulum would be fun. Should I just glue this onto my card, or should I make it rock? I know what people are going to say, so I'm just going to go ahead and get everything ready in case. You can vote at the top of the chat. Get out a 5x7 card base. I'm going to make this card bigger because why not? I'm trying to make more 5x7 cards because I know a lot of people like them. You're going to scroll too. Let's see. Make it rock. I knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a 5x7 card base. I just have a bunch prepped. And I think it'd be fun. Maybe that's too big. Hold on. Just one moment. Betsy. Betsy. She texted me. I think she was the first one to say rocking would be fun. It's okay, Betsy. It's good. Yeah, a wobbler would work great. But I mean, I got to try it. Okay. I'm going to do a pendulum. So let me see. I want some water. Maybe I won't do 5x7. Maybe I'll just do, let me think. Maybe I'll do like A6. Let's try A6 instead. I don't want as big as 5x7. A6 is 4.5 by 6 1/4. So it's a little bit more than an A2 card, and A6 envelopes are very popular. There, I like that. So this can have some more room. Then I could turn it landscape, but I need room underneath it to do the pendulum technique. So I think I'll do like some waves. And I'm not going to do more typical blues. I think I'll do Lakefront because that's one of my favorite colors from Concord. And I'll do Peacock. So these will be my waves, and this will be my sky. So let's do our sky first. I want this to be slightly smaller than the background. So the card is 4.5 by 6 1/4. So I'll do for my background 4 1/4 by 6. So it's a 1/4 inch smaller. So there's my background. And I could, if I can find it. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. I want the clouds. I don't know if I'll be able to find it quickly. Watch, it'll be the last thing I find. I found it. This is, remember I did the double stitch die, if you've been here for a while. The double card front, where you have the vertical and horizontal. This is the cloudy version of that. So I'm going to place my card panel up into that nook and run it through. Now it doesn't go all the way to the bottom here, but that's going to be covered with water. So I'll take this and place this in my die cut machine. So the reason that background die looks a little silly is it allows you to do clouds on a vertical or horizontal card. So a portrait or landscape card. Yeah, cork would be nice on the top of the bottle. I should put a cork on it. Yeah, I should do that. I'll do that too. Here's the little cork die. Of course they have one. I need to put a cork in there. Let me get some craft cardstock. Craft cardstock, Concord and 9th wheat is my favorite. Here's a piece of it. I put my cork in it. I forgot. So see how I have clouds in like a... So there's my background. You can see there's a little trim. I could do a different color than the bottle, but I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Oop. Because the bottle isn't as much the focus for me as, oh, come on, as the ship is. So let me put some adhesive on the back of my cork. Tuck that in. I'm putting it in between the acetate and the blue. There we go. There's that cork. Okay. Now, oh, somebody asked about the windows. That's what somebody asked before. Those windows look like eyelets, don't they? They're not. They're die cuts. So, in the die set are these that create the windows, and I cut those from black cardstock. Then this creates the frames that go on the windows that look like eyelets, and I cut that from brown, and I glued those together. Again, they're not hard to deal with if you have a pickup tool, like the Gina K one. Okay, now, oh, this is where I'm just like, what am I thinking? I think it's going to be right there. I need a penny and a sip of wine. Maybe I need, let's see, let me find a penny. And this is where I get, every time I use a penny and a card, I get an email from somebody saying I shouldn't do that, that I should use a washer or something else instead. But here's the thing. Aren't pennies being eliminated, Mike? Some year. You can use a washer. You can go to the hardware store and get yourself a washer. I'm guessing that burns more than a penny's worth of gas, but I don't know. I'm going to Columbus next week. Pam? Okay, I put double-sided tape on the back of a penny. And I'm cutting the excess double-sided tape off. Now I'm making a pendulum card. I'm hoping this doesn't crash and burn. I've done many pendulum cards in videos, so if this crashes and burns, I will link you to one that isn't a crash and burn. But I want this to be like right there, wobbling. So I need to put a hole right behind it. Let me get a die. I should have done this before I did the texture, but you know, live and learn. So I have a small circle die cut here, or die here. I'm going to put it right behind where my bottle will go. So like right there. And I'll put a piece of tape on it. and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. So I have a little hole there. I can't even tell if that's center. I'm losing my mind. Let me get out my T-roller from Pear Blossom. I can easily see the center here. And nope. Eef. Get the center is right there. Okay, there we go. See? Right there in the center. Now I'm going to flatten those clouds a bit, but I didn't think about it at the time. Can you scroll, Mike? Oh, Bran just put a link to pendulum card video in the chat. So if this fails, you can always watch that instead. So there's a little hole there. Now I flattened the faux stitching that my die did, and I want it back. Wheel. So what I'm going to do is pop it back in place. It kind of fits on there because it still feels the... Let's see if that works. I might just totally mess it up. Yeah, that ruler is a great ruler. Yeah, I think the pennies work great, but listen, if that stresses you out, please don't use a penny. Use a washer or something else instead. Perfect. So I put the clouds texture back in. Okay, so that's going to go right there. But I need a pendulum. For a pendulum, you just need a strip of cardstock. Got a scrap of cardstock here. This is white cardstock. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. And you want it to be about a 1/2 inch wide. So there's a 1/2 inch wide cardstock strip. And I want it to hang like down to here. I'm just going to tear it. So it's about 3 inches long, 1/2 inch by 3 inches long. Now, up here, I will put a circle foam dot. I really like circle foam dots. I just bought a bunch online. Not many people make them anymore. This is American Crafts Sticky Thumb Circle Foam Dots. I'm going to use this middle size and put it on one end here of the piece of the strip of cardstock. Now, if you can't find circle foam dots, you could actually use a square foam dot and it'll work, okay? Or you can die cut a bunch of little circle die cuts and glue them together and so they're thick, see? Or you can do a little button, glue a small button, anything smaller than the hole you die cut. But I have these little circle foam circles and it works great. Now, oh, I should have made it wider. Hang on. Change of plans. I forgot. Ooh, look at, here we have one. The strip should be wider than a 1/2 inch. Okay, the reason is I put glue all over the back of my penny and I want it to be as wide as the penny because if I take this and glue it here, some of the adhesive on the side of the penny would hang off and it would stick our pendulum. So this is about 3/4 of an inch. So the pendulum, 3/4 of an inch by about 3. See, I'm winging it. Oh, SBC makes fabulous foam squares and foam dots. There you go. Who's SBC? Scrapbook.com? That's good to know. Baby buttons work great too. All right, so on one end, I put the penny and I'm just gonna round that off. On the other end, I'll put that circle, foam circle or stacked circles or little button up here. So there is my pendulum. The top is a foam circle or stacked circles. Down here is a penny. And that's gonna go behind here. Okay? Okay, now. Bran's husband just came home with fries from 4 different places. Okay, Ken didn't do that. I need fries from 4 different places. Yeah, I think this will work fine. Okay, so foam circles up here. I'm gonna place the hole around the foam circle, okay? Then I'm gonna flip that over so the foam circle is in the hole. I'll flip this over And I will put temporary tape here so that this is vertical, all right? So the pennies here, foam circles through that opening. Fries from 4 places so you can decide which is better. One time, I'll tell a story. I probably will get in trouble for telling this, but that's okay. I was at Kathy Rakusen's house with a bunch of my friends, and it was like 1 in the morning, and we were getting hungry. And I got a text from Heidi, who owns Simon Says Stamp, and she was sitting on the sofa next to me, but she texted me, and she said, I may or may not have just ordered pizza from 4 different places to be delivered. So we could pick what was the best, decide what was the best, so next time we knew where to order from. Now that is thinking. Okay. So there we see it. Pendulum back here, just taped temporarily. I'm going to remove this release paper, and I'll place my bottle onto that foam circle. Okay, so the only thing that's adhering that bottle to that card is that foam circle. Now let's remove this release paper, or this tape. Now see how the pendulum goes back to side to side, back and forth on the back, and the bottle wobbles on the front. We'll control it so it doesn't go upside down. But so you see the movement already? Now, let me put it to the upright position. So there's the upright position. Now let's put some double-sided tape on the back. Some foam tape, sorry. Some foam tape on the back. There we go. See, I'm running low. Altenew has the best foam tape ever. I will put double-sided tape or foam tape down this side. And I'll do foam tape down this side. Now, let me see if that controls the rocking enough. We don't want it to rock too much. Let's see. So let's flip it over and see. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now we'll do foam tape above it. You want some gap here and here on the left and right because that allows it to rock. And foam tape down here. Now, although you need a gap on the sides, you don't need much of a gap here and here. So I'm going to put some more foam tape down here just so it has some more strength. And I'll do some more foam tape up here. All right, so that's going to really kind of control everything. Heidi is one of the best humans in the whole wide world. Okay, now this I'll put on the front of my white card. Don't worry, we'll add some waves to the front in a moment. Heidi is great. Listen, there are some amazing humans in this industry, but I would argue that Heidi and Aaron Leventhal, those two, Aaron who owned Hero Arts, paved the way for everything. Oh, and Gina. Gina paved the way for lives and so on and so forth. So those three, I think, paved the way for everyone. Okay, now I want this to stay down, so I'm just going to tape the bottle on the front temporarily. Okay, so there's my adhesive all around. There's some wiggle room over here and here so it can swing. I'll place this onto my card. Is that crayon upstairs? Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Now, when I remove this tape, we're going to pray that it's working. First, I'm going to have a sip of wine. Isn't that cute? Listen, a lot of companies got their start with Heidi. Like when a new company starts, like Concord and Ninth. When Concord and Ninth started, Heidi found out about them and started selling them. Heidi has lots, who owns Simon Says Stamp, she has lots of followers. So they saw the new brand Concord and Ninth, right? So she exposes us to a lot of brands. That's the great thing about, one of the great things about Simon Says Stamp. Okay, look at, I'm not done though. So far it's working, see? Pam, are you in Columbus? I'm going to visit Heidi next week. You need to text me. Okay, so there we have that goes back side to side, thanks to that pendulum. Now I need waves. And I think I was gonna do lakefront and peacock. I might skip the peacock and just do lakefront. So I'm gonna cut some lakefront that's the width of the powder piece. Whoa, I'm running out of steam here. That's 4 1/4 inches wide. Remember, this card is bigger. It's 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. I think I don't know if I want waves. I need waves, but I like the waves I stamped. Maybe I shouldn't have put those in there. Now the first one I want to be big enough to be in the background. So let's see. I've got a wave die. This is part of the Oceans and Potions die set. Bear with me here. Yeah, Simon Says stamp. I mean, you have to. We all, everybody, whether you shop there or not, owe them, because a lot of this industry would not have been as successful without their exposure. And they started out on eBay. All right, so let's put that behind there. So I shouldn't have stuck that to the card just yet. Live and learn. I'm going to tuck that out. I want it to go to right about there. So I'm moving over and see. I can see right here is where I need to cut it. So I'll do a little pencil mark. I like to do pencil marks sometimes instead of measuring. So I'll do a pencil mark there, and that's where I know how to cut it. So really I should have glued this down to the background before I put this on the card base. But see how I can slide that back there. So let's see. All of this is a test to see if each step I do, make sure it doesn't mess things up. I told you this slide would go longer. Okay, see how it's rocking in the water. But I want some more waves. Can you scroll? So let's create some more waves. There's another wave die somewhere here. I don't know where it is, so I'm going to use the same one. There's 2 in there, but I'll just move it over, rotate and move it over. I like that the wave is long enough that can be used on a horizontal card, I guess you say. I'll put it like that. Okay. Or a landscape card. Hero Arts. Yeah, Hero Arts. Now, Hero Arts paved the way because they were the they've 45 years now. They were one of the first and longest standing. Look at that. There's another wave, and I think I want to do one more. Now this wave I'll put here. I'm going to put a little tick mark and cut there. You could do as many waves as you want. But that one's going to go there. It's going to cover my stamping. See, I think I should have skipped that stamping. Maybe I'll make this a little shorter. The stamping on the inside, I probably should have just not put there. But it's okay. So that one's going to go there. Then we have one more. We're going to move this to this side, put it along this top edge. I could do more. But I could have alternated colors here. I'm not. Just leave it as is. I could have used the cover plate die. Yeah. The reason why Hero Arts, I feel we have to thank also, is because Aaron, who was the owner of Hero Arts, he was very helpful to his competition. So he helped the industry grow. Okay, these are, here we go. So there we go, see? Okay, you could do more to this to zhuzh it up, but I'm tired. Let's see. Let me see how this will work. Yeah, it should work. Okay, I have a little bit of foam tape here. Uh-oh. No, I don't. Darn it. Oh, I got another roll. I knew this would happen. I told you I liked Altenew tape for a few reasons. One is the sides aren't too sticky. The other is I find it's high quality, doesn't make your scissors gunky, and it comes in 3 different widths and 2 different thicknesses. So this is the middle width, the half inch, and you can see it's not sticky on the sides because this just comes right off. Oh, this is the thinner. I want it to be thicker. Do I have the thicker roll in here? Yeah, this is the thicker. Because I ran out of this. I love this double-sided tape. By far my favorite of rolled double-sided tapes. or foam tapes. Okay, so let's cut some of this off. I'm going to put some tape along the bottom. So this is going to go on the top. And then some on the sides. Cut it at an angle. Watch what I'll do. Put this here. I don't want to get in the way of the bottle. This on the side. Cut the top of that off. And then we can put some in the middle, right here. Yeah, honestly, oh, Mary, good point. Hi, Mary. I did a bunch of lives. Oh, Mike, when was that? When I did them with Aaron?
Hanging with Hero.
Hanging with Hero. It was for Hero Art's 45th, 50th, I don't remember what, 50?
Yeah.
Anniversary. I think it was in the summer or spring, where we did interviews. Aaron and I interviewed or talked with different people of the industry, like Greg from Concord and Ninth, Kristina Werner, you name it, Heidi from Simon Says Stamp. And that allowed us to learn more about the industry. And his chats were the best because he explained how inks started and stamps started and all that. It was fantastic. You can go watch him on my channel if you want. Just search Hanging with Hero. Okay, now, so I have foam tape, not here because the boat will be under it, or the bottle. I'm going to place this on top. Oh, okay. I'm going to leave that there. Let's pray. You see? And it rocks back and forth. Now, I could have, again, done more with waves. In fact, you know what would be cool? Everything's sticking together here. Too many magnets. Okay, this, which is meant for a smaller card, but come in. Just bear with me here. I have an idea. Yeah, so even if I would encourage you to watch all of those Hanging with Heroes. Here's my other wave die. I would encourage you to watch all of the Hanging with Heroes because he went through the history of stamping with different companies. Different companies talked about how they got started in the industry. It was fantastic. Aaron is one of my favorite humans. And without Aaron and Aaron who started Hero Arts, or was the owner of Hero Arts, or Heidi from Simon Says Stamp, I would not be doing what I'm doing. What was the event that brought your brother into the business? Good question, Lori. My brother was an engineer like me. He was an electrical engineer, and he did computer programming at a big company. He, like me, wasn't really certain that it was for him. Just struggled. How do you say it, Mike?
Wasn't happy.
Wasn't happy. Many, many years of that job, and he just wasn't happy. I only made it 5 years and I quit. He made it, how many years, Mike? Were you?
28.
28 years as an engineer. And during COVID, he stopped working there and started working with me. And it was, let's be clear, it was many years of thinking about it, right, Mike?
Yeah.
For many years, he would show interest in what I did. And for years, our financial planner, we have the same financial planner. Our financial planner was like, why don't you quit and work for your sister? But, there's a risk in that, right? There's a risk in, I don't like that there. There's a risk in anything. So he wasn't certain. And then when he finally did, I would argue he loves it.
Yeah.
Except when I go live for hours like I am right now. But what I think he likes the most is the people I work with. Like he has gotten to know, like Greg and Kristina. And I think from what he used to do, that wasn't really part of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. People didn't work together as much or whatever. So he's loved that aspect of it. So that's what it was. Basically, it was many years of thinking about it, and then finally did it. And I don't think he regrets it. No. It works well. We work really well together. And he can read me like a book, so he knows when I'm stressed or freaking out without me having to say anything. Okay, so what I did is I just used these little waves and I glued them on top for texture. So I just did it different. Oh, look at that. Isn't that fun? But I completely forgot about a sentiment. I can save that. So we've got Lost Without You, Love You Boatloads, and The Best Ship is Friendship, which I think would probably work well as like a little wave there. I'll just do that, and then it'll be done. Isn't this fun? And whew, it worked. That's all I gotta say. Got some scrap paper here. I'll cut that with black ink, or stamp that with black ink. Yeah, Ken retired early. Ken retired at 53. I will not be retiring at 53 because I would lose my mind. Here's the thing. I love what I do, and it's my hobby too, so I don't plan to go anywhere. All right. Yes, okay, I should say that. Mike started by just doing tech stuff, like helping me with my blog and stuff like that. He's been known to help many crafters with their blogs. In fact, my server for my blog has many crafters on it, hosts many crafters. He just helps a lot of them. So he started doing tech stuff, but he's ended up, oh my gosh, that's cute. Ended up doing much more, and honestly, has saved me. Okay, so let's put that there. I could use foam tape, but I don't think it needs anything. Yeah, I will say, okay, Roadrunner said, there's nothing better than your job being your hobby. Yes, but sometimes it's hard. Every job, as my dad used to say, it's called work for a reason. There's parts of it that are hard work, right? For me, this sounds like it's a good problem to have, but it is hard. Kathy Zilski and I were talking about this today. There's so much we want to do, but we can't. There are so many things we want to show or use, or companies we want to help and support, but we can't. And also, when you're passionate about your job, it can take over things big time. It can take over. So there's good and bad to everything. And honestly, I would say 95% of the time it's wonderful. But earlier this morning when I was crying, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. Okay, so I have an A6 envelope that will fit this card. So this overall card size is 4.5 by 6.25. You could have made it on a smaller card base, but I thought the bottle this way worked better. So there we go. Isn't that fun? So that's kind of wobbling back and forth in the waves. I'm so excited. That was fun. I'm glad we did this. I know exactly who I'm going to send this to. Isn't that fun?
That's neat.
Mike likes it. Mike said that's neat.
I'm glad you didn't glue it on.
He's glad. Yeah, Cheryl said it's all about balance, I think. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I would argue that nobody has figured out the balance for whatever they do. We all are always trying to find that balance, but nobody's gotten it right. It's always greener on the other side, right? Like Ken's retired young. He's had a hard time with retirement. So everybody, there's struggles everywhere. Okay, there we go. See? Oh my gosh, that's fun. Okay, so we have there. And then remember their pumped up gas pumps and the gift card that comes out? And then way back at the beginning are, let's look at our fries. The salt. Oops, there's a scrap that landed on my glue. Remember how I put a little bit of rock candy on it? Look it. It looks like salty French fries. Okay, I just did a little bit. You don't want them to be over salty. And there's the inside of that. So there's our cards for today. Isn't that fun? Okay, that was the most fun I've had. Here's the thing. I have learned, Leah Williams, from my therapist, that balance isn't something you achieve or you get to. It's something that it's like a verb. You're always working towards it. At least that's what she says. I don't know. Okay. But I haven't been to her in 2 weeks, remember? And so I bought felt instead. Okay. So that's our, what? Giveaway. Yes, we have a giveaway. Do they do gift cards?
I believe so. I would double check.
I don't want to do a giveaway of a gift card if they don't do them. I think they do. There's one company who doesn't.
Spellbinders and Hero Arts, they have this thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a $50 gift card to Concord and Ninth. So to get a $50 gift card to Concord and Ninth, which you could buy either Concord and Ninth or Kristina Werner, you just need to leave a comment in the chat. And if you've left some comments in the chat, thank you, Betsy, you're already eligible. But we'll give you a few minutes to leave some comments. So while I do that, I'm wondering, you missed the whole thing. Well, here's the thing. You can watch it in replay. Okay. So if you're just joining now, I use the new releases from Concord and Ninth and Kristina Werner, and I would argue, I would say these are two of their best releases, if not the best release. So you can rewind to the beginning. I showed examples for all of their new products that Kristina and Greg from Concord and Ninth gave me. You can find all of those examples over on their website. So if you're looking for more inspiration, they have lots of great examples. If you're looking to buy any products, you can check out Concord and Ninth or Simon Says Stamp. Both are great places. All right, Mike. Hi, stray dogs and alley cats. Welcome.
Did it again. Go ahead.
Oh, what? Keep talking? Okay.
Yep.
Let me just go through the cards. So this one features Kristina Werner's Fries, stamps and dies, and her heart stencils. Then this one was, and also her I Love and Adore You dies. This is the Fueled by Friendship, I think, stamp set and die set from Concord and Ninth. We did huge pop-up. Look at how much that pops up. Flattens for an envelope, pops up for when you take it out of the envelope, and when you open it, it slides up to reveal a gift card. You can see that from the side. Then we have our Sunshine for a Cloudy Day shaker bottle. There's little sparkly yellow sequins and hearts in there. And then the best ship is Friendship. And this is from Oceans and Potions. These are both Oceans and Potions from Concord 9th. And that's important to note. Completely different themed cards, same products from Concord and 9th, Oceans and Potions. You got a winner?
Yep, I know.
All right, the winner of the $50 gift card to Concord and 9th is
Kathleen Stark.
Kathleen Stark. Kathleen, if you email me through my website, you can go to the Contact Me site or portion of the website and send me a message with your address. We will send your $50 gift card to you, and which will come through email, but we also will send you a card if you give us your address. All right. Oh, and yeah, the mailbox set is fantastic. I wish I could find it from last year. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I did like a light blue and red and yellow color scheme today. If you struggle with color combinations and want different color combinations for these products, Concord and 9th is known for their color combinations. You go to their website and somewhere on the top it says Color Club. And in there you see lots of color combination suggestions. Even if you don't have their inks or cardstock, that could help you just kind of get kick-started with what you have. Jessica asked how I adhered my acetate to the bottle. I didn't. The only thing that's holding this acetate on the front of the bottle is that bow that I tied around the nozzle. That's it. And it works. It stays there. You could put a little drop of glue or something in there, but I don't think you need it. I think it's perfectly fine without. And that bottle looks like a bottle. See? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I will be live for a long time on Sunday. Oh my gosh, this was 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be live likely longer on Sunday unless I pass out between now and then. On Sunday, I plan to use Altenew Pink Fresh Spellbinders and maybe a little Hero Arts. Okay, so it's a mix of a bunch of different companies. I have some things I really want to use and do. So I'm thinking it'll be a longer, like 4 or 5 hours on Sunday afternoon. As far as what time it starts, I'm not sure yet. It'll be noon or 1. If you go to my website, you can sign up for text notifications, or you can join my Facebook group, which is called Share Handmade Kindness. I always talk about it there. And if I remember, I'll put it on social media. But you can sign up for notifications on my YouTube channel too and get notifications anytime. But the texts are best because we always text 30 minutes before a live. All right. Thank you. Thank you for spending some of your Friday night with me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.